right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chido Talk podcast, the number one podcast in New York City, according to my jefa. Tonight we are with Lali. Welcome, Lali. Yay! Welcome, and thank you for coming. More than anything, sorry for rushing you. You had a practice, I heard. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to that quinceañera if we rushed your practice. I'm
Yep.
so sorry, but thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting the invite. I'm excited to have you. Present
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. So, thank you for having me. My name is Citlali. Born and raised in Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn. Never moving anywhere else. I'm a quinceañera choreographer in New York. I'm 23 years old, and
Yeah, damn,
making it happen.
23.
Yeah.
I say that like I'm 43. I'm 26, but
hmm
I say that like I'm 43. I don't know. I feel old. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but after 25, you start feeling 45. I don't know what it is. Like, not only do you feel it, but your back also tells you, like, yo, you're 45. You know, you can't move
Wait,
as
how old are you? I'm sorry.
26.
26.
Yeah, 26.
Oh, okay.
I'm holding on to 26 to dear life, but with dear life, but I'm turning 27 in January, so I'm like months away from like
Oh, okay.
27. You know, which like 27 starts sounding serious. You know, like 23, 24, you still feel like a kid. 25, kinda.
I don't feel like a kid. I'm
Yeah?
23. I don't feel like a kid.
Oh,
every
that's
time,
good.
every time, I always have rehearsals and stuff, and the kids like, I'm always like, I like to play this game where I'm like, not play this game, but I just like to tell them like, oh, like how old do you think I am? Because I feel like in my age, it's like when you like try to be strict on kids and they see that I look young, it's like they
Yeah.
won't take me seriously.
Right.
Because they're like, who is this girl? She's probably like 18,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
17, and she's telling me what to do. And I'm like, I'm 23, and they're like, no, you're not. You look like you're 16, and I'm like, I wish I
You
was
do
16.
look very young. You do look very young.
Yeah.
Do you get this when like you go to clients to sign like quinceañera bookings or whatnot? Do you get it where like I don't know if they'll call you señora, but they've called me like señor, or they'll treat you like a certain way where like you feel like I mean, I still feel like a freaking kid. Like I feel like I'm like 10. Like I act like this podcast seems so serious, but I act like a kid outside of this. You know,
Yeah.
like when you gotta be serious, you'll be serious, right? But like more or less, like I try to keep that like kid in me, like I let it live. So when somebody talks to me like that's so serious, it feels so strange, you know. And then you kind of gotta fake it till you make it type of thing. Where like, oh yeah, like you know, does
I
that
mean,
happen to you?
for me, I feel like it depends on kind of clients. Like sometimes I feel like majority of them know like my age or like at
Right.
least know that I'm 20.
Right.
Like I feel like when I meet like my clients, like their parents and stuff, like the people that I actually like, sign the contracts with, like they usually know how old I am because they're like, okay, well if she's running a business, like I don't think that she's like younger.
Right.
But like when I meet the kids and stuff, it's just like they always think that I'm like 18 or 19 because like I come to rehearsal and like I'm not gonna lie, like I look like a bum. Like
Don't worry, it's okay.
yeah,
When I'm
like,
loading equipment and stuff, like I trust me.
yeah,
it's
no,
all
no,
right.
no. I come to rehearsal like horrible, like no makeup with my glasses. I wear glasses, like I'm blind. So
Same.
yeah.
Shout out to my
I
blind people.
it's hard out here.
Yeah.
Glasses are expensive.
Very expensive and very annoying too. You try to
Yes.
take a nap with glasses, not gonna work out.
Yeah, I have astigmatism, so like I'm like extra blind.
What's
so
that?
I'm more blind in one eye than the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and like my vision is very very like blurred. Like I can't see without my glasses at all. Like I can't.
So you're
read-
on contacts right now?
Yeah, I have contacts.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I always go to practice in like my glasses, and I go in like sweats. I go in like my big hoodie.
right.
Like I go to practice comfortable because I'm there like for 2 hours.
Right.
So I go comfortable. So it's always funny because whenever I show up to my events, usually whenever the kids see me or like whenever my clients see me, they're like, Citlali? And I'm like,
Not you.
and I'm like, sí. I'm like, hi. They're like, oh, te ves tan diferente. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
Do you think like your young age has helped or hurt your business? Because think about it. Like we do parties and then now by we I mean me because like as everybody know like well people that on the podcast I say it a million times to promote myself but I'm a DJ too like in the quinceañera world and the wedding industry. Do you like for me I feel like it's had mainly positives, but do you feel like because you are so young, you think it's benefit you because you're able to connect with like your quinceañeras, or you think it's like hurt you because maybe you like what you said before, like maybe they don't take you seriously, because they'll want to hire someone either their age or like whatever. What do you think of that? We're jumping a little ahead, but I kind of want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it goes both ways. I feel like it's beneficial when it comes to like my quinceañeras and like getting along with the kids that I teach. It's definitely beneficial in that way because at least they know like, oh, like we're close in age, so not close in age, but uh, I'm on the
Relative, I
younger
would say
side, so
relatively close.
it's
Yeah.
easier, yeah, because I feel like a lot of quinceañera choreographers or like majority of them, they're like a little bit older than me, so it's harder to connect with them. So that I'm younger, I'm like, okay, I understand what they're going through. Like everybody's in high school, and it's just like they have a lot of things going on, and like
Yeah.
when you're a teenager, you think like the whole world is falling apart. So it's just
Right.
like, and at least with the girls, it's easier too because being a young girl is like you got a boyfriend, and then you're going through
Yeah.
breakups, and then you're going through this, and then you have tests, and then your mom doesn't let you go out, and it's
Right.
just like I try to relate with them and try to be there for them as much as I can. So it's beneficial in that way because I like getting along with the kids,
Right.
and with the courts that I have,
I see that a lot from
definitely.
choreographers that like that helps them a lot. The fact that they can like kind of like because you guys like I always saw this from a DJ standpoint and like a choreographer standpoint. You guys spend so much time
Yeah.
with the whether it's a wedding, a couple, because you do weddings. I'm guessing too, like for the
I
choreography.
haven't like recently, but I do.
You yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I guess you do. But mainly, let's say for the quinceañeras, like you
Yeah.
spend so much time with them, and you kind of build like a bond, with
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
I always hear that, that we're gonna miss. It's even in the TikToks, like, oh, I miss my quince breaks or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely see that like going in like your favor. Has
Yeah.
it hurt you at all that you're like your age?
I feel like it might have only, hurt me in the sense of like sometimes the parents, I feel like some of them like won't treat me like I'm an adult, or
Right.
at least they won't like respect me sometimes. I've had a few clients where it's just like, oh, like they won't pay me on time, or like when it comes to financial stuff, like they won't
Right.
pay me on time, or they'll be like, yeah, 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 like I'll give it to you next week because they just think it's just something I'll forget.
Right.
But this is my business, and I am the only one running it, and this is my life, my business, so it's like I'm gonna take it seriously. So it's just like I feel like when it only comes to like the parents of my clients is
Right.
like that's when it might come like not in handy, but when it comes to the kids and getting along, that's definitely but I
Right.
do
Right.
try to make the best of my job, and I understand that I am young, but you live and you learn, and
Yeah.
you make mistakes, but I love being young and running a business. It's just like for the most part it's like inspirational for a lot of people because it's just like I'm 23 years old, and I'm running a business and by myself, so
Yeah.
it's not
That's
something that everybody can do.
Yeah, it's very cool. That's why when like I saw you like that post of like, yo, I needed female entrepreneurs to like get on. I was like, yo, you're perfect because it's not only what came to mind when I saw that was like I feel like it would be great not just because you're like you are a female running your own
Mhm.
business and whatnot, but I feel like you're in a business that's like I would say mainly male dominated. So it's
Yeah.
like so cool to get into that business and just like how they say like take it by the horns or whatever, like
Yeah.
just go straight into it.
Yeah.
But let's get started. We jumped a little ahead, but let's get
Yeah.
started. How'd you even start? Because I know you dance. Period.
Yeah.
Like I know you love it. I've seen it in your page. Like
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
seen it in your page. Like I know you love dancing. Period. Like how did that passion start? Where did it start?
Yeah,
That
so basically, I mean, it started when I was little, honestly. When I was like in elementary school, my mom put me in this like in after school and dance program because she was going to work. My mom was a single mom, so she was doing
Shout out to all the
everything.
single moms out there. Shout out to all the
I
single
love my
moms.
mom.
Shout out to all the single moms.
Yeah, for real. So, my mom was a single mom and she was working. So, she wasn't able to pick me up from school until a later time. Or, when we had a babysitter, we would have to get picked up at a later time.
Right.
So I would get out of school at maybe like 5 o'clock from when I was in elementary school. So she put me in a dance program when I was little. And I
Okay.
feel like that's when I figured out that I like to dance. So we would have like dance shows like then and here, like, in elementary school. So that's when I found out that I like to dance.
Okay.
So in middle school, I didn't really dance. I just went to like, a regular middle school, and it wasn't
Would you
really
say you were
much.
like back in like that time you were introverted or like you were more outgoing?
When I was little, I definitely was very talkative. I feel like I've always been like that. I've been very, I love to talk to people. I love to go out. I've always been very talkative. I feel like when I was little, I was definitely way too loud.
Same. I was the kid that
Yeah.
they put their desk outside.
Yeah,
That
I
was
feel
me.
like I was definitely a little bit too hyper and very, out there.
Right.
But yeah, so then after middle school, it was time to apply to high school. So I was trying to look for, dance programs or trying to at least go to a school for dance. But those were the kind of schools that you had to try out for.
Okay.
So it was just like, and majority of the time when you go to a dance school, for you to get accepted, you have to do contemporary pieces. And I never danced like that. So contemporary is like, ballet
Okay.
and like tap dancing. And, I didn't really have that kind of training. So I was like, damn, I'm going to apply for this school and they're not going to let me in.
Right.
So I went to Fashion Industries, some school on 23rd Street in the
Okay.
city. And I was a part of the step team. So
Okay.
that really helped with my coordination. Like stepping is like
Yeah. Yeah.
the clapping, the
Yeah. Yeah.
stomping. Yeah. So I went to high school and then I was on my team for like 3 years. Senior year, I didn't really, engage in the group, but definitely for the like freshman, sophomore,
Right.
junior, I was definitely like involved in it. So during that time, I think it was like 2018. In August, I had tried out for De La Luz
Right.
for my first my first group that I was a part of. I tried out for the team, and I got in whatever, and I didn't know how to dance back then. Like I
Okay.
swore I knew how to dance, but I did not know how to dance. Like
Right.
when I turned 15, I did not know how to dance.
When
My
did that switch go off? Sorry to interrupt, but when that switch go off, where you're like, dancing is my thing, like, cause you something had to like click in your mind to be like, yo, dancing is my thing, so I'm gonna pursue this long term. Like a lot of people in high school, they're thinking about, what I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I
Yeah.
want to be a mechanic. When did it click that was like, this is my thing, and I'm gonna pursue it to
Well,
wherever extent I can.
yeah, so being a dancer in New York City, being a dancer, you there's classes that they teach in the city. So there's a dance studio, a really popular dance studio on 34th Street in the city, and it's called Ripley Greer's. So they always host open classes there. So I was already following a couple of choreographers on Instagram. So there was one choreographer named Nando, and I took one of his classes right before I had tried out for the quinceañera group that I was a part of. And when I went to class, I realized that I really liked, the song, and I really liked the
Right.
rhythm, and I really liked the ambiente, and I liked the environment, and
Right.
it was something that I knew like, damn, like I kind of like this, and if I were to train and if I were to take it seriously and if I were to find, somewhere where, that I liked and that I can do this, freely and openly and all the time,
Right.
then, maybe I can take it,
Now you can
to the
make
next
something
level.
happen.
Yeah. So I tried out for the team, and then that summer I left to Mexico. So then I came back in winter, and then I started going to, the rehearsals that we had all the time. So I mean, that was the time that definitely I got a little bit more rebellious because I was going to Queens and I live in Brooklyn.
Right.
So my mom was upset because I used to get home really late from practices. I was there all day. I used to be like, Mommy, I have practice. Like, I want to be here. Like, this is something that I want to be a part of, And I really liked, the quinceañera world. Like, it was something
Right.
that I really, really, really liked. And, I loved to teach and I loved to dance. So, obviously, starting to learn how to dance, I've always had that mentality that I'm just like, this is what I know I want to do. I'm going to try to, be as involved as I can because, this is something that I want to do.
Right.
But going down the line, I feel like I got really involved in like trying to work for other people that I wasn't working for myself.
Right.
So it's like I would give to everyone else and, to the people that I was working for at the time. And it was just like I wasn't doing anything for myself. I wasn't getting really anything in return. Like yes, I was learning how to dance. Yes, I was learning how to teach, which of course is something that, I'm really grateful for. But it was just like in the long term, it was just like I feel like I definitely did wait a lot of time to invest in myself and invest in, my business and, what could have been, back then. But,
Right.
no regrets. I'm really happy to where I am now and, we're just getting
Yeah, I feel
started.
like all of that's like the foundation
Yeah.
to wherever because you have to wherever you are now. There's a reason. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard something crazy the other day, or I saw it. I don't remember that. It's like your every decision. is like a course changer, like
Yeah.
from your life. So every decision, whether it was going to Queens to practice, with Delu, shout out to Delu, by the way, shout out to the go watch this episode. Whether it was going to Queens to dance for him or for like somebody else, or like learning how to dance. I feel like each one like course corrected you to be now
Yeah,
where
where I
you're
am.
at, and then now you're thinking bigger, so it's like I feel like every time I look back to it, I'm like, but what if I did this? But what if I did that? But what if you didn't? What if you
Yeah.
stopped? What if like there was for me, like, what if there's a client that just didn't like my work, and then that like killed my dream, and I was like, you know what,
Mhm.
it's not for me, or something like that,
Mhm.
so I feel like every twist and turn brings you to now. So
Yeah.
it's really cool that you grew from that. So when do you start like thinking, like, from when you take that moment of like, I'm going to like learn to like, maybe I could take this on my own and like see where this goes, like business wise?
Yeah.
Or maybe you didn't even think about it as a business. Maybe you just wanted to do it for fun, or somebody asked you like, hey, would you teach my daughter or something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, when it was coming down to like, teaching for, Nelson, like my first group that I was a part of, sometimes he would be like, "Oh, like Lali, like do you want to teach? Do you want to teach?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like a couple of times, like definitely like the first few times that he had asked me if I wanted to teach, I said no, because I feel like I wasn't ready yet back then. But then, after I started getting more comfortable, I started getting in the groove, like, I had said yes. So, I was definitely teaching, and in the quinceañera world we have a whole bunch of expos.
Right.
So
Yeah.
back then I was definitely part of a lot of expos, so I was trying to take the initiative of also teaching, and being a part of that, and trying to come up with choreographies back then. And we had a great group back then when I was dancing, so it was really fun. And the first quinceañera I think that I ever had, I honestly don't remember. I feel like, ooh, I'm just like, I kind of don't remember. Like every time somebody asks me like, when was your first quinceañera, I'm like, I think I know who it is, but I'm like, I don't really remember. Cause
Right. Right.
yeah, because I feel like when I was like, I feel like a lot of the when I first started dancing, I feel like it's a lot of a blur because I was so in the moment at the time
Right.
that now when I think about it, I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, that was so long ago. Like when you
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
it, like it was 2018, so that was a long time
Oh my god.
ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that.
So I think my first client like that I remember was one of my mom's friend's daughter. She had her party. I think her party was at some salon in Brooklyn in Avenue P. That was the first client that I had. And I remember the rehearsals. I did not know how to navigate around teaching somebody because
Right.
it's hard, because especially because I'm a dancer. So me being a dancer, like I'm very used to like reggaeton and hip hop and teaching
Right.
surprise dances. That's definitely what I liked. That's definitely what I gear towards, is teaching
Right. That's
surprise
your like your
dances.
strength in
Yeah,
dancing.
that's
Yeah.
my strength. Yeah. So, that was what, whenever somebody needed somebody to teach, that's what they would call me for, is because that was my specialty. So when it came down to teaching waltzes, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I like that client, like, I did my best. I did what I could to my knowledge and like what I definitely observed, like in the environment that I was in, because it was
Right.
just something that I was always involved in. So I took what I observed and taught my first client, and it went really well. But I
Do you remember
was
how much you got paid for that first? That
it
first.
it was $500.
That's the first. That's the 500 though. That like initiates where like you're
Yeah.
like, damn, I can make money off of something I love. Well, did you
Yeah.
think about it that way, or you were just like, oh, it's just
No,
money?
I did, and it was really fun. Like I really got along with the girl as well. So like with the quinceañera
Right.
that I taught, so I really got along with her. So I was like, damn. But it was also like the first client that I had. It was also very stressful. I remember,
Mm.
because it was also like her guys had been they had only danced one time,
Oh my
so I
god.
was just like, this is my first girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And her guys don't even know how to dance. So I'm like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, because when I was in my dance group, like everyone
Yeah.
around me knew
Everybody
how to
was like,
dance.
yeah, what is a pro?
Yeah. So when it's like you're teaching somebody that doesn't know how to dance, it's hard. It's really, really hard to teach somebody that you don't know, that doesn't know how to dance, because it's just like, where do you start? So,
Right.
and also me being a beginner is just like, you know,
And then I feel like one thing is going from dancing to teaching,
Yeah.
because in reality, like, you got to twist those gears to, like, okay, now I got to show you how to do this,
Yeah.
which is, that can be, it's not easy for anyone to, like, I've been asked to, like, yo, can you show me how to, like, DJ? I'm like, I mean, I can, but, like, why don't you just watch me, like,
Yeah.
but it's not as easy as that, I wish it was, but I'm pretty sure that was like a crazy learning curve of, like, learning how to, like, we were talking about it, like, before we started shooting, how it's like you have to know how to control these kids, because I remember, like, my first and only court I was in was for my shout out Kathy, that's my cousin Kathy, the only one, mind you. You came to Queens, from Brooklyn to Queens to
Uh-huh.
practice. I went from Queens to New Jersey to Union City to practice, so it was like, it was a little far, but I was like,
A little.
yeah, I was like, but I stayed over. Like, we practiced only on weekends, so,
Uh-huh.
like, I stayed over at my aunt's house, and I love my aunt. It's like my second mom. So,
I hate practicing on the weekends.
oh, and like, that's what we had. I don't even know if that guy was like a pro. Like, the guy, I mean, he taught us. He taught us pretty good. So, um, we practiced on the weekend, and then, like, I had to go, over to my aunt's house, and we practiced, and I remember that for one, it was fun, but it was not only fun because, like, the dancing part, it's fun because you get to mess around, like, hang
Yeah.
out or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that's like a hard thing to, like, control. Kind of be like a teacher, like a
Yeah.
real school teacher. Like, yo,
Yeah. It
get
is.
ready.
It
And then
is
that
hard.
age range is like, what's the age range for, like,
That I teach.
yeah,
The youngest I've ever taught is like 11. I mean, sometimes I get like on the older side, like older chapelanes, but like the main age range that I do teach is like maybe like 15 to like, I'm gonna say 19.
right.
Yeah, so it's just like that teenager phase. Like it's just
Yeah, that's
it's
like when they're right in the peak of, like, no,
yeah,
basically. So,
it's hard. Like I try not to get like overwhelmed, but sometimes like because besides of like teaching, I also have a regular job.
okay,
So I'm stressed at my regular job, and then I'm coming and teaching these kids. So
right. So it's like double stress.
yeah, for the most part though, I that's why I try to definitely begin with a bond with the kids that I have, because once I build a bond with them, they respect me.
Right,
And once they respect me, it's just like, oh, when Lali's serious, Lali's serious.
right, right.
And I'm just like, yes. I don't like yelling at, I feel like a lot of the things as choreographers, and a lot of things that the parents will tell me of my quinceañeras is they're like, le tienes que gritar, quítale su teléfono. They're like, yeah, no, you have to get them to listen, like, yell at them, do whatever you need to do. And I'm like, I could do that, but it's just like, you're dealing with teenagers. Realistically, if I'm taking away your phone, one of them has to tell me, you don't pay for my phone, why are you taking my phone? Which is very true.
Yeah.
And it's also like, gritales, and I'm just like, I can yell at them, but it's just like, as a teenager, it's also like, me, when I was thinking of me when I was a teenager, like, if somebody was gonna yell at me, I'm not gonna listen to them. Unless it's my mom. Yeah, because it's just like, regardless, I have to be there. I'm getting paid. So it's just like, this is my job. So I have to be there regardless. So I'm like, I try to talk, and bond as much as I can with the groups that I have, because it's very much easier for them to respect me. And when it's time to be, a teacher, it's time for me to be a teacher, and they know that I'm serious.
Right.
So they'll be like, oh, like, Lali's serious. And I'm like, yes.
What's like a crazy story you've had, or like you like maybe we're fed up with, like, the like, you just walk? Because I've had that one time.
One time, one of my kids talked back to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like really badly. I had a client, like one of my first clients, not one of my first clients, but one of my clients that I took with another friend. One of the kids, he like talked back to me very badly, and I was just like, "Is everything okay?" And I don't know what he was trying to do. Like, I don't know if he was trying to like come at me, like to the point where he was gonna hit me or something. But like, he came very close to my face, and the parents had to like remove him off.
Right.
And I was just like, I'm just trying to get him to listen. Like, I'm just trying to talk to him nicely, because it was also a venue rehearsal. So I'm just like, it's time for you to lock in, and it's just like, you're not listening to me either.
Right.
So that was definitely one of like my scariest times, but I haven't had like any crazy incidents.
I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Thank God, not yet. But yeah, no, the most I'll get is like, if a kid talks back or something.
Right.
But
what about like a crazy quince? Like, the girl is like, either she's like bugging out, or like it's not going, like she doesn't get the step, or like, what's like a crazy story you had with a quinceañera?
I'm like, I don't have really crazy stories, but a lot of the like what's new is like my quinceañeras get really at their parties. I'm like,
Allegedly, allegedly,
yeah.
we have to say allegedly, okay? Allegedly, they get.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what's this new thing because I'm just like, oh, sorry, to I'm like too much tea, but yeah, I'm like, my mom would have
Yeah, I mean, time.
kicked me when I
Yeah,
was that age. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm like, "Ugh, this is
yeah, things have
becoming,
changed, times have changed.
yeah,
Because like
definitely.
now, even when we were talking about the whole cumbia vibe and stuff like that, with the recent guests we've had,
Mhm.
where it's like the demographic of the people attending has changed so much. It's like you don't know if they're kids or not,
I
because
know. I'm
it's
just like some of like the people like the girls that I teach. I'm just like, oh my god, you look so much older than me, and you're taller than me. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
man,
What are they giving these
I'm
kids?
I'm like, damn, I'm down for two. I'm just like, one, you look older than me. I'm like, you wear like you do your makeup better than me, and you're taller than me. I'm just like, damn, I'm like not winning anywhere. I'm
No.
just like, damn, I don't even have time to get up and you know put mascara on, and you're over here with a full face. I'm like, damn, you have more time than me.
Yeah, these kids are like crazy. Not only the girls, but the guys are like out of this world too. But I mean, I feel like that's what they used to tell us. Like, what do they give these kids nowadays? And now we're like the ones saying like, what
Yeah,
do
and
they
I'm just
give?
like, holy shit. I'm like, I feel old. And then every time I tell somebody, like, I'm like, I feel old. And it's just like, they're like, you're not old. And I'm just like, I feel like I lived a lot of lives. I'm just like, damn, I feel old. I'm like, I'm going to turn 24 in February. So it's just like, I'm almost 24. So
February.
that means
What
it's
what uh,
almost
what date
25.
on February?
February 9th.
February 9th?
Yeah.
Okay. So shout out to all the February kids. I don't know what
Shout out to
what
Aquarius.
Aquarius, that's what it is. Am
Yes.
I Aquarius? I think so. January 27th. Fuck, I almost
I think
forgot
you
my
are,
birthday.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
when it starts. I'm like, I know I'm an Aquarius. I'm
Listen, I
like,
don't. The only reason why I know like what do they call
horoscopes.
horoscopes?
Yeah.
Is because like sometimes when I'm DJing at the club, like I'll say it out loud, but you see me googling it beforehand.
What season is
Yeah,
it?
what season is it? And then that's when like I'll be like, yo, shout out to all the Aquarius or whatever.
People love that. People love
Yeah,
horoscopes.
yeah. I
People
mean,
be like, your rising sun, your moon and
are you
star.
into that? Are you into
No,
like the
I
horror?
don't know that.
I always say the only sign I am is the money sign, so that's the only sign I follow.
Yeah. I'm like, I just know I'm an Aquarius and that's it.
So how many weeks actually go into for those that don't know, like, oh, is it like, oh, they just take a week to learn or like a month to learn? How many weeks or how many months go into a practice so the final outcome to the day of the party?
Yeah, so I usually do rehearsals for 3 months. That's usually my timeline. I usually do 3 months, one day in a week. Right now I'm, a one woman team, so it's kind of hard to, take multiple events at one time. I mean, I do it, luckily, but because I'm able to balance out the schedules. But I like to start 3 months ahead because I'm just like, okay, well, if I have a new client, when I'm finishing one, it's easier to balance out. So yeah, it's a lot of time invested, in my business and the
Yeah.
dancing. So you also have to get a lot of dances done because it's also like sometimes you're dealing with kids who don't know how to dance. Sometimes you're dealing with kids who do dance. A lot of the times you're dealing with chamelanas who don't show up to rehearsal, and you're
Mm,
dealing with cancellations and holidays and this. I have school and I don't have school. I have work. It's really crazy now because I feel like a lot of kids now work like at a young age.
really?
I have a lot of kids right now who every time I take a new client, they're like, "Oh, my all of my chambelan is work." I'm just like, "Wow." I'm like, "Good." I'm like,
Yeah. I
"Everybody
mean,
works
yeah. I
now."
mean, yeah. Hopefully
Yeah,
they're not just changing to a party more, but also working harder.
yeah.
How is that? How is that like the side of business now that you like, touched a little bit on it on the career? Like I know how it works with DJing,
Hmm.
but how do you first of all, how do you learn or when do you learn to start managing this? Because a lot of people don't know it, but like choreographers, venue decorators, DJs, photographers, like there's the part of like the talent, you know what to do, you know how to throw up a really nice decoration, convert a venue, you know how to play really good music that gets crowds hyped up, you know how to show people how to dance really well, but how do you learn to the business side of it, because there's a whole side of it. I always say like me and my business, shout out Nova Events, shout out the whole team, in my business it's so hard because you have to wear so many hats at the same time.
Yeah.
Like when you're out of events, you are the booking manager, you are the staff manager, making sure everybody's gonna be there every
Yeah.
weekend. you are the, sales associate, you're the sales representative, you're like all in one. So, well, for me, it took years and years to like a lot of trial and error to be where I'm at now, where I feel like the system I have going on is self, sufficient. Where like I can pick up an inquiry and turn it over into a client like that, So how did you learn, or when did you learn, and how hard has it been to become a business, not a dancer, but turn that into a business? Because I'm guessing eventually you want to turn this into your full time. Like
Yeah.
this is all what you do. So how has
It
that
became a
process
full
been?
time for like temporarily.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was obviously very hard. I feel like, thank God, I surrounded myself, with me being the age that I was, back then, when me being 16, 17, I picked up a lot of things from around the people that I was with. So, when I wasn't working for the person that I worked for when I first started dancing, I was also, me dancing, a lot of people would get to know me more, and they were like, oh, Citlali, like, Lali, like, ella baila, she knows how to teach. So I feel like back then it was beneficial in my eyes, but for the people that I was working with, it wasn't looked upon in a great way. And I mean that by, like, let's say I was working for one company and another company wanted me to come teach. I saw that as a business opportunity. But for like them, it's just like,
You're a
oh,
trader.
it's just, yeah, in
Yeah.
that time, it was viewed in a negative way.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like whoever I was teaching for, I was picking up everything I could, because it's just like
Yeah.
it was an environment that I was around. So it's just like, oh, like, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? So when it came down to, figuring out that this is what I wanted to do, and what I wanted to do was open up my business, I didn't honestly have like a grand opening. I didn't really, announce that I was teaching on my own. It was kind of something that just happened, you know. So before I started my company, I was working for another company, and I got really involved in that company, and I was going to, I was really business invested. So, with them, it was very much more, I was very more open in the industry. I'm just like trying to word it correctly. I was like more open in the industry. There was more doors open. Like, I got to meet Tequila, and then I got to practice in Dreams, and then I was doing expos in Dreams, and I met a
Yeah, you
lot of
got more
people.
you
Yeah,
more doors open.
I networked a lot of a lot more than what I did back then. So, I did learn a lot more. So when it came down to teaching, on my own, I'm like, okay, well, what do I have to do? Like, I obviously have to go on social media. I have to post. I have to keep up with
Yeah,
posting.
that's a whole side of it
I have
itself.
to make a contract, and like in the contract, I have to make sure that it's set.
That you cover yourself,
Yeah,
right?
to be safe, because you never know. So with payments, and
Right.
with rehearsal times, and making sure that people respect my time. So it's just like you have to come with a contract. You have to make sure you have social media correctly. You have to have a logo.
Right.
You have to put yourself out there, definitely. You know, yeah, I mean, I really didn't have a business opening, which I wish I would have. I wish I would have, did an official thing, an official post, at least,
Right.
announcing that I was doing it. But I feel like I was doing it, I was teaching for other people so openly, that it was just like when it came down to opening my own thing and doing my own business, that it was just like, I'm
And
just
people
like,
maybe already even knew, like, oh, that's
yeah,
her own thing.
yeah,
And you kind of were going with the flow, which in reality, like, that can benefit you because people don't know how long you've
yeah.
been doing this on your own.
Hmm.
So that you can use that as as a strength, and be like,
Yeah.
listen, I've been grinding for a while, but now it's
Hmm.
on my name. Now it's how's the struggle like uh with the economics on it. Like I know it's like you spend like for DJs. I'll give you an example. In
Hmm.
in our our business model is we get a deposit, and then we don't see money until the day of. Well, usually it's like a couple of weeks out from the party. We'll get full payment. Well, in
Hmm.
my instance, that's how it works. When I work with the Nova events, it's like we'll get the deposit, which locks in your contract, blah blah blah, so on and so forth, and then we don't get payment until the day of the or a couple weeks out from your party. Some people still do that where they get payment the day of. I don't like doing that. I don't like getting paid the day of the party because they're
Yeah,
like drunk or
no,
whatever. And I don't want to
I
deal with
don't
like
do
drunk
that
people.
either. I feel like it's hard because it's just
Yeah.
like, once people start drinking, and then you gotta look for everybody. You gotta be like, oh, like I gotta go. Can you give me my payment?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's a
it's
little
just like,
weird. It's kind of like you're begging for your money, but at the same time, it's
yeah,
like, come on, dude. Like I work for it. Like,
yeah. Sometimes I've made an exception, and once I've made an exception, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this again, because it's just like you're like chasing around your client. It's just like your client has 1,000 other things to think about. So it's
yeah,
just like they're not gonna prioritize you and your payment. Like, they have 1,000 other things to follow with their
yeah.
event. So it's just like I'm over here chasing my client, and I'm just like, yeah, never again. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. How is it? How is that like the whole economic side? Like, I know I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm also
Mhm.
asking for myself. Like, is there expenses to this? Like, do you incorporate your expenses, whether it's travel or whatever you have in expenses, into the pricing, or how does your pricing work?
Yeah, so I do take a deposit, obviously. I think it's definitely important to take a deposit, because it's
Yeah.
just like sometimes you'll have clients that'll text you and they'll be like, hey, I want to contract you for this day. And it's just like sometimes they won't follow through, and it's just like the event starts getting closer, or at
I
least,
sorry to interrupt, but I see something on Instagram where like if you don't give me a deposit, all we have is a conversation of your hopes and dreams.
yeah. I'm just like, yeah, like, I have a lot of people that will text me and they'll be like, hey, are you, like, for example, like we're in November now, right?
Right.
They'll be like, hey, are you available for March? And it's just like December will come, and I am just like, I start rehearsing 3 months with anticipation. So it's just like, are we gonna follow through with this contract? Are we not? So um you said economic, right? I'm just
Yeah,
like,
like the
where'd you start?
economic. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I do take a deposit, and then after that, usually like halfway through when we're done, like when we're through with rehearsals, like halfway when your event is coming, I usually take another payment, and then usually the last payment is the day of the last rehearsal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I usually do three payments, because it's just like you never know, because I have a lot of quinceañeras that are just like, it's very difficult with coordination with their chambelanes and coming to rehearsal. So a lot of the times, not a lot of the times, but before, I've had a couple of issues with chambelanes who won't show up to rehearsal, and it's just like when I come to rehearsal, it's like I travel from Brooklyn, and I do travel, and it's just like I do make time out of my day to come to your rehearsal. So I do hope that everyone in your group respects that time.
Right.
So it's just like if we don't follow through with that, it's just like my time is wasted, because we'll have a lot of chamalanes that come like 30 minutes, an hour late, and it's just like, well, your rehearsal time is 2 hours. So it's just like if you guys don't make it, for example, if your rehearsal's at 6 and we start at 6:30, I still have to leave at 8 because I have to make it to other rehearsals.
Right.
So it's been times where I've had a couple of difficult clients that'll be like, oh, but so why am I gonna pay you what we agreed on if you didn't give me the amount of rehearsals? And I'm like, well, I try to make it up, but your group is just not responsible. So I'm not really sure, how to figure this out. So that's when it comes difficult, when it comes to like the money aspect,
Right.
is that's why I always ask for three payments, because I'm like, I don't want those clients that are like, I'm not gonna pay you for your work, because there's people like that. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately there is
yeah.
clientele that are like, I mean, for me, like 99% of my clients are amazing and I treat them as family.
Hmm.
I don't see them as numbers, I see them as family, each and
Yeah.
every one. And each and every one of my clients knows that. I'm not even just chatting.
Yeah.
But there is unfortunately that like percentage of clients that does, and it sucks because it's like the clients that like ask for the most discount, ask for the most like, can you add this, can you add that, can you add this, usually the pickiest clients, are the clients that are going to give you the most issues.
Yeah.
And the clients that are just like, hey, I'm deposit ready, where do I send it, are
Yeah.
like the most peaceful and greatest clients you'll
Yeah.
have. And it really does suck, because people don't know, like in this industry, sure, we're not, there's, I mean, I would like to say there's levels to this, like, and I don't mean that in a like an arrogant way. It's just what it is. Like when
Yeah,
you're
there
starting
is.
as a DJ and you're kind of learning the curve of like how to deal with the crowd, how to deal with, last minute things and so on and so forth. Like obviously you're not gonna charge 3, 4, $5,000,
Yeah.
right? So there is a level to it where like you start learning how to.
Yeah.
What I learned recently. I'm totally switching gears, but I want to talk about it. What I learned well, not recently, but I've done it more confidently now, is learning to say no.
Yeah.
Like learning to, uh, just to prioritize my clients that I already have, because those are the ones that are not giving me issues. They're not asking
Yeah.
for so on and so forth. And just learning that, sure, everybody's going to say money is money, right? But when you're dealing with clients that are not the greatest people to deal with,
Yeah.
that's when you start seeing a fine line of, is this client worth it? Is it worth the headache? Is it worth,
Yeah.
me like bringing down my price when the other client was perfectly fine with the price, So it sucks that we in the world, and people don't see it. People just,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, you've heard it from, like, maybe choreography. You definitely have heard it from DJing. We're like, oh, he just DJ, he just puts music, and it's
Yeah.
deeper than that. Like, we don't only, as far as a DJ, we don't only play music. We, curate a program for your event. We make sure lighting is, appropriate to the event. Make sure that we're not just have, a rainbow of lights going on while, it's a very nice venue, and we're like, we want to keep the aesthetic of a very,
Yeah.
is that sometimes you see things online, and then, you feel like that's what you're getting, and people go to, like, the cheaper guy, and that's not what they get,
Yeah.
so I feel like taking, I was funny enough, I was talking to somebody about this earlier. Funny enough, it was another choreographer where, he was asking me about his website, and that got me thinking, like, that's our storefront, like our website or Instagram, like that's how people, like, or
Reel in. Yeah.
clients, yeah, that's how they'll see, like,
Yeah.
how our work is about. So I really appreciate, like, this person, or like yourself. I've seen your page looks very nice, like very
Yeah.
aesthetically pleasing. I'm pretty sure you took time to, like, not make it look nice just to look nice, just because it's representing you and your
Yeah.
potential next client. So it's very cool to see other people think alike. Where, like, yo, if, like, if you were, like, you walk into, like, Gucci, Burberry, or anything like that, the shelves are gonna be nice. They're gonna be very nicely stacked. Like, your clothes are gonna be very nicely folded, right? So it's kind of like the same thing with, like, your socials, where you want to keep everything.
Social media is everything now.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
yeah,
you're not keeping up with your social media, then that's gonna hurt you. And I recently, like, I figured that out, because I have a job outside of teaching.
right.
So it's just like it's really hard being your own boss. I really learned that the hard way is
Oh
that you
yeah,
have
tell
to
me
be on
about
top
it.
of your social media. Like if you're not posting, if you're not taking content, if you're not posting videos, posting Instagram, posting notes, or like posting that you're available, like it's just like it's hard because it's just like that's what people look for. People look for engagement. People look for people
Yeah.
who are posting, taking initiative to make things look nice. So it's just like if you're not on top of social media, like
Yeah,
that's gonna
what you
hurt a
think it's
lot.
your most the social media you use the most, that attracts, that is a turnover from, like, viewer to client?
Instagram.
Yeah, right.
Definitely Instagram. Yeah, I feel like what unfortunately, like, I don't really use Facebook. I mean, I have a Facebook. I don't know how to use Facebook.
That's a crazy statement.
Yeah, I don't know
I
how to use my mom is always like, why don't you make a Facebook? I'm like, I do not know how to use
recommend it too,
Facebook.
by the way.
Yeah,
Real shit. As a friend, I recommend
definitely.
it.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I'm like, I have a lot of client, like my mom has a lot of people who will always, send me messages on Facebook, and I feel bad because I'm like, I don't have like a Facebook profile. I'm like, somebody needs to train me in Facebook, please, guys, because I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, I got you.
Yeah.
YouTube. I got you.
Yeah, my
YouTube. Oh,
my
YouTube.
mom is always like, I'll teach you, and I'm like, yeah, no, you're not gonna teach me. Like, you're just gonna post like stories and just be like, yeah.
It's
So
it's kind of like the same. Like, and now the only reason why I'm talking, like, if I really post on Facebook, but the only reason why I'm saying it is because I just got a client off of Facebook, and in my website, in, like, my inquiry form, like, I have, where did you find us? Was it a
mhm.
referral? Like, like, someone told you about us, Instagram, TikTok. So TikTok has been moving like crazy right now lately. So that's, like, where I'm investing a lot of time. But, like, yourself, I'm like, I don't use Facebook. I don't, like, I use it for Facebook Market. Like, I just scroll there, like, ooh, there's, like, something cool, like, for my studio, or like something like that,
Yeah,
But I don't really use Facebook, like,
yeah,
and it's very a small amount of people that actually around my age range that have Facebook. But funny enough, like I got into the conversation because in the inquiry I saw Facebook, like that they found us on Facebook. So I'm like,
Hmm.
while I'm on the phone with the client, right? I'm like, hey, by the way, I just want to know, like, how'd you? I know you put Facebook, like, how'd you find us in Facebook? Because my page, I have like an actual page, like what do you call it, like a business page or
Yeah,
whatever,
business
right?
page. Yeah. That's the thing that I don't know how to use. Like, I know that you have like a personal
Yeah, you
profile,
can have
but
like a
you can make
personal.
a page within your
Yeah, where they don't
page.
like friend you, they like follow your page, which is
Yeah,
like
that's
yeah.
why I don't know. I think accidentally once on my Facebook I made it and I had no clue. And I'm like, I don't know how this works. Like
Right.
I genuinely like I've tried to use Facebook and I think like I have my profile picture and I have my cover screen as like an old quinceañera of mine,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to use it. Like you go through my Facebook and it's just like the stuff that my mom the post that my mom tags me in and that's all that I see.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's like
so just
it's so
like
funny. Like you like in Facebook, I'll post like a random like like gym quote or something. My mom was like, "Te quiero mucho, mijo," or something
yeah.
like that.
My mom always tags me in things, and I'm just like, oh my god. I'm like, this is you scroll through my Facebook, and that's all that you're gonna see. And I'm just like, I don't know how to use
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's so
I
funny.
always laugh with my mom because I always tell her, I'm like, you know how to use Facebook. I don't know how to use Facebook. I know how to use Instagram, and you have no clue how to use Instagram. I'm
Yeah.
just like, it goes both ways.
It seems like your mom is a big part of like what you do, right? Like,
Yeah.
or you're big. You said you come from a single parent, which is like, I mean, I don't step in that shoes, but in a little bit, in of a sense, I do because I come from a broken family. So it's
Hmm.
like my mom, took care of me for a while on her own. My dad took care of me for a while. I was kind of bounced. The typical, sad story where you get bounced back and forth. But
Yeah.
how does that? How did that like? Um, how do you feel like that made you who you are right now? Like coming from that, because it's hard. Like a lot of people don't realize this when they're
Yeah.
like booking a service or whatever. Like they don't see the person behind the day of the show.
Yeah.
They don't see. So how did that affect you? I'm guessing in a very positive way because like from where you are now is like I personally have seen your growth and I've seen your development to where it is now.
I always
Um,
laugh because it's so funny when I think about it. It's just like when I was younger and teaching for, all these quinceañera companies that, were existing and do exist at the time. It was just like I was investing so much time in other companies that I didn't realize that I can do this all on my own.
right,
So it's just like I feel like I was giving, people my 100%, but I wasn't giving myself 100%. And it was
right,
just like I feel like back then, definitely, when I was younger and dancing, when I was like 17, 18, a lot of people would have viewed me as like, oh, this girl's so annoying. Like, why is she always here? Like, why is she always trying to be a leader? Like, why is
right.
she being a captain? And why is she always, involved in, these activities? And I'm just like, I think about it now and I'm just like, this is why I was doing what I was doing is because I knew what I wanted for myself and I knew that this is something that I wanted long term. And me being a girl and doing it on my own, like it makes it, even more worth it because it's just like I knew what I wanted at such a young age and I just wasn't ready to invest, that time and that money and that effort, into myself yet. That is just like, thank God that I did eventually because, it helped out.
And you think that rolls over into your life on itself? Like forget about the dancing for a second and like do you think the have you are you victim of that from yourself like where you pour into someone else's cup while yours is empty?
Yeah, I feel like definitely yes. Wait, I'm sorry. Can you
So basically, do you think that that rolls over into your life? Do you think that that's been a pattern not only like maybe now you open your eyes to it, but like you think that has been a pattern for yourself where like I know it, I definitely know for myself where like I spent a lot of time pleasing people and making people happy and giving people this fake persona of myself when I knew who I really was and I never wanted to like be true to myself and it's like when they tell you who does the lifeguard go like ask for when he's drowning. So like and I did that a lot where I gave a lot and I gave a lot of disque advice. I'm like, like I gave a lot of advice and I was there for a lot of people where like my life was crumbling.
Yeah.
How do you think that you've done that yourself?
Yeah, so I feel like I did. I do that in like in my personal life. I feel like I give a lot in the friendships that that existed a year or two ago. Like I feel like I give a lot. I definitely give a lot in my friendships. I'm a girl. I'm very emotional. I don't like showing it, but I'm very emotional, and I love my friends. I treat my friends like I'm their family to me. But I feel like a lot of the times I did invest time and I invested my life into a lot of my friends that just didn't deserve it at the time. And I moved out at 22.
Yeah, I
So
saw
it's just
that too.
like,
Like I saw your whole transition, which was like cool to
yeah,
see because it's usually as a I'm interrupting you real quick, but usually as a guy, you're the one that like, well, me, I'll talk because I have a family. Like you're that person that takes that responsibility of going from now you're living with your parents and now you have to be the head of the household. And I'm pretty sure to a lot of girls, like it's probably a difficult step to take when they're ready. And definitely in New York, I'll tell you that much.
yeah,
Definitely in New York. How was that whole like? Because I mean, I might have not told him. Pretty sure I didn't tell you, but it was like very cool to see and very inspiring to see. Like especially, and I'm not saying girls can't do it, but like seeing a girl do it is so cool. Like where they
yeah,
move on to um do it on their own basically, like get what they gotta do and
yeah.
do what they gotta do on their own, no helps. How's that like whole process?
Yeah, so I mean, it was really hard, definitely. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was definitely times where I felt like, I wanted to give up, and it was so hard. Like, I had lived with my mom. Like, in my family, I have my mom and I have my two sisters and we have my niece. So we're all girls.
Right.
I love my mom and I adore my mom, but definitely when we were living together and it became very difficult to um like co live because it was just I was growing up, and I wanted my space, and my mom has,
And now
not
you're
the
an adult,
yeah.
so
So my mom, she doesn't like she has an apartment, yes, but it wasn't space, and I knew at the time I knew that I wanted my business to grow. So it's just like I also need to grow individually. So the funniest thing is that my mom did not know that I was moving out of my apartment until 3 days before my
no
movement
way.
date.
How did that conversation go?
Yeah, so it was literally my move-in date was January 1st of
Wow, what
2020.
very symbolic, huh?
Yeah, I think it was January 2024. I think it was last year, or yeah, last year, about to be 2 years,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because
Yeah,
we're about to go
26,
2026.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it was January
It goes
2024.
quick, huh?
Yeah,
It
I was
goes
like
quick.
3 days before. I remember my mom had left the apartment and she was like I'm going to church. I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay. So the whole month of December, I was moving my things without my mom knowing. My mom had no clue that I was moving yet.
And how come if you don't mind me asking, how come you didn't tell your mom like?
I was scared. I was really scared. I really, looking back at it now, the relationship that I had with my mom and why it's really easier for me to, relate with my quinceañeras is because a lot of the times they're just like they're fighting with their mom, or they're like, my mom doesn't understand me, I want to be a
Right.
teenager. And it's just like I understood that at the time because I was just like, damn, like I'm 21 and I'm still arguing with my mom. Like, I want out. Like, I want more. I want to move out. I want to see how it is living on my own. I want to do my own things. I want to follow my own schedule. And I was working and I had money saved and I had found a really good basement, and I found like the basement that I lived in for the first year on Craigslist.
Okay, shout out Craigslist. There's a lot of cool
Yeah.
stuff. Damn, I haven't heard Craigslist in mad long. Shout
Yeah,
out
and
Craigslist. I used
I
to rent apartments on Craigslist, not like rent them like I go live. Like I
uh-huh.
used to rent people out to.
Yeah.
So like yeah, you can find a lot of cool things on Craigslist.
Yeah, I remember the whole December I was looking on Craigslist. I'm like, damn, I'm like, I want to find an apartment. I'm like, I want to leave. And I had found a really good basement. And I had found like the family, shout out the family that, that gave me the opportunity to live in the basement.
Yeah, because it's
Because,
hard.
yeah, my
It's
rent was
hard.
700 when I moved out.
Not only that, but for you to get like for people that if there's people now watching out of New York, for you to first of all, like people say like, oh yeah, New York is like you can like minimum wage is high or like they pay a lot and
It's expensive.
it's expensive AF, bro, to live here. And not only okay, let it be expensive, right? But not only is it expensive, and I'm telling you this because I used to be a real estate agent. not only is it expensive, but it's impossible, damn near impossible for you, especially at that age, to be moving out on your own. Because
Yeah.
more than likely, the landlord or whoever's renting you the place is like, this is a kid. They won't be able to
Yeah.
pay me. So trust me, I know that. Like, I know the struggle with this place that I got, right, but like I know the struggle of, because I myself didn't do it as like from a bad place in my heart, but I knew the landlords wouldn't take certain people, so I had to deny people,
Yeah.
and that really sucks. Obviously from my end, because I feel bad, but I'm pretty sure from some. Did you get denied out for like places,
No,
or it
I
was like
had
the first place and boom?
no, it was hard because I was texting like people on Craigslist, and it was just like it came in handy because like recently too, like a year, like not a year ago, a couple months ago, I had a friend that was like, "Oh, I want to move out, but they're texting me that I need to send them like money for a viewing or something." And I remember at the time I was texting so many places. My Craigslist, I was like I was like, "Hey, are you available? Are you available for a showing? Are you available?" And it was just like all of these places, like they make you sign up for like a credit check or something, but it
Yeah,
will be like something where they'll charge you for it. So I'm like, they're about to take money out of my account, and I don't even know who they are. So
yeah.
I remember with one person, I try to, get them on the phone so that I can speak to them personally. And they were like, no, just do the credit check first and then we'll see if it goes through. And I'm just like, I was scared because I'm like, I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
So,
Credit. What is credit?
yeah, I'm like, I'm 21. I'm just like, I'm just looking for a place to rent. Like,
Yeah.
so, luckily I found the basement and, yeah, so 3 days. Yeah, my mom said that, like, I'm gonna go to church, and I'm like, okay, yo de confianza that she left. I'm over here packing my things in boxes, and then I think it was like not even like 10 minutes later, she comes back in, she opens the door, and I'm like, and I was in my mom's room, and I'm like turned around, and she's like, and my mom instantly, she saw the boxes and she was crying, and she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm moving out, and she's like, why, mommy? What's wrong? And I'm like, I remember, like, it's like a
Your
blur
heart
because
probably
I
dropped.
was crying, and I was so scared because I didn't know how to tell my mom, and it's just like I feel like that's something that's definitely hard in Hispanic households because it's just
Yeah,
like,
especially as a woman.
yeah, you're scared of your mom because it's just like I remember like when I was younger, I used to go out and I used to have fun, and I wouldn't answer my mom, and she'd be like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "At my friend's house. Like, I'll be there in
you,
10
you see
minutes."
that meme like, ¿En dónde estás?
I'm like, I'm here eating with my friend. Whole time I'm like an hour away.
Holy shit. Don't worry,
So yeah, so it was just like I was scared of my mom. Like she always tells me, like she always used to tell me, like, why are you scared of me? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm just scared. Like I don't know how to like I didn't have that confianza in my mom yet to have like a real bond with her, because every time like I feel like I would come home, like we would always be annoyed. And it was
Mhm.
just a thing where it's just like, no, my mom's like being a mom, like she's being annoying, like
Right.
that's how it was like back then when I was living with her. So I was scared. And yeah, I was just like, I'm moving out. And, there was nothing left for her to do. Like, she just accepted it. I had given already the deposit for the basement that I was going to live in. And, those next 3 days, it was hard. And I remember when she went to go drop me off at the basement, and she started crying, and she's like, oh my God, mommy, I can't believe you're leaving. And I'm like, this is happening.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, definitely the first
My dad was
month.
like, get the hell out. Nah,
Yeah,
it
no.
was.
My mom, she would keep all of us if she could. My mom still wants me to move back in. And
Wow,
I
I'm
told
pretty
my
sure she
mom,
does.
yeah, I told my mom, I'm like, the only way I'll move back in is if I get my room. I'm like, I will give you rent, everything. I would love to live with you. But
But tell me not like independence is worth every bit of the
yeah.
struggle. Like I remember, well, I have a family, so it's a little it's different. I wouldn't say harder because everybody has their hard situation, but it's different because once you we lived like a year uh with family, and after that I had my own place because I was kind of like you, like I want my own space, like I
Yeah.
need my own space. So I remember after the whole thing, like the first year, and I don't know, maybe you could relate. The first year was like fucking tough. Like the first year is like the toughest year because you go from like,
For me, it was months.
no, yeah,
For me, it was days.
it was fucking
Yeah.
tough. Where like people don't know this, and I mean people can probably relate because at our age is like that's when people are making that step.
Yeah.
They're making that move, And it's fucking tough when you go from like paying close to nothing. Me, I had everything paid. Like I accept it. Like, and I'm very grateful. I don't say this in an arrogant way. I was very spoiled as a kid. I mean, it's kind of like the
Me
when your
too.
parents separate. Yeah, it's that like your parents try to give you that like time and love. I mean, I'm pretty sure my parents love me, hopefully, but like that time and love, they try to replace it with money or things or right. So I was very spoiled as a kid. So going from that to like, ooh, now you got your own family. Now you pay rent. Now you pay light bill. What the fuck is a
Yeah.
light bill? I didn't even know how to pay that shit the first month.
Yep.
I was like, who do I call? My mom does this. But I'm pretty sure like you had that moment too of realization of like, fuck, like it's the last couple. Like I remember having the last 20 in my account and like,
It's either
fucking
I'm eating or I'm paying something.
yeah. And it sucks because these fucking companies, all you get is thank you for your payment.
Yep.
And they're like, fuck you.
Invoice, receipt,
Yeah.
that's it.
It's crazy. Did you? How was that? How was it moving on your own? Like,
It was hard. It was definitely hard. Definitely the first.
big props to you, man. That's a big step. Like,
Yeah,
as
thank
a
you.
as a guy, I know how it is. So I can't even imagine. I'm not saying girls
Yeah.
can't do it. I'm just saying, like, as a girl, like you're in the world. It's just realistically, you're a little bit more vulnerable
Yeah.
to the world in general. So like, you go to a landlord and if they see a guy, more than likely, like, and I've heard this story over and over. Where like, again, I'm in the real estate world, so I mean, maybe now it's different. I haven't been in that world for a while, but like, I know it's tough. I know it's fucking tough as a
Yeah.
girl. So how was that whole?
It was hard. Yeah, definitely the first month I really was depressed. At the time that I was moving out, I was also going through a breakup.
Oh
So it was
man,
hard. So it was like, damn, I'm just like I got my heart broken. I'm like, and I'm moving out on my own, but I'm like I'm moving out on my own, so that's what matters. I was always trying to look, through the positive side.
right?
So it was just really hard, and it's just like my mom is not there to cook for me. Nobody's there to cook for me. I have to feed myself. I have to make sure I
You
wake up
telling me I
for
have to renew
work.
my own insurance?
Yeah, I have to wake up like on my own. I have to wake up for work. If I don't go to work and I keep calling out, or if I don't make it to this shift, because my business, I wasn't really getting clients yet at the time.
Right.
I had probably just started getting, I think that year 2024, I had more clients in the summer. I was definitely more busy in that summer.
Yeah, it's more of a summer, like industry.
Yeah, so I was more busy in the summer, so it was just like, damn, like I'm by myself now. So it was just really hard adapting, being on your own. I definitely did try to look at the positive side of being, independent and being a girl, and it's just like, yes, like you can do this. Like, my mom did it, so why can't I do it? But it was just hard because it's just like you come home and you're alone. You don't cook, or you don't cook, you don't eat, and if you don't work, you're not going to be able to pay your rent. And it's like if you don't pay your rent, they're going to kick you out. Like they don't
Yeah.
care. People just care obviously if you're paying.
Yeah.
So it's just like you have to figure out and you have to do those things, but it's something that I'm very grateful for, and I'm very very happy and I'm very proud that I did it when I was able to, because it's just like thank God I moved out of the basement. Now I have an apartment, on my own. So it's just like it's so much better, because it's just like there's always room for better things.
Yeah.
In that moment you might feel like, your world is falling, and that you can't do it, but it's just like when you do go through those hard times, it's just like, damn, like I did it. Like,
Yeah, when you come out of the storm, it's always the realization of like either one, it wasn't as bad as I thought, or two, like I got through it, and
hmm
that's what it is. And I'm telling you, like very like major props to you, and it's very. I'm very thankful that you said that story, and you're able to tell that, because a lot of girls, I'm pretty sure, are in that. Maybe guys too, but a lot of girls are in that like time in their life where like they need their independence and they just don't know how to go about it.
yeah.
As a guy, I was kind of taught like you are. I was very raised in a very traditional, like, Mexican household where like, you're the head of the household. Everything's on you.
Yeah.
You don't eat, your family dies. It's not that serious, but like,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
glad I was taught like that, because I am a provider. That's who I am. And I take that role, and I will always take that role, right? But as a girl, it's like so hard.
I'm like,
Like,
man, I'm independent, but I'm waiting for my provider.
no, but oh yeah, of course. Hey, listen, if you're a provider,
Shout out to you.
listen, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're able to tell that story to other girls that are in that same boat.
Yeah.
Because there's a million, 2 million girls in that boat where, like, for one, you're finding yourself, who you are, what you love,
Yeah.
what you do, and while you're at it, you want to be independent, but you don't know how to go about it. And this world is cruel, very tough.
Yeah.
So it's great that you're. I mean, I'm very inspired just by I haven't heard this from a girl in my group other than my mother. My mother's the same way. Like,
Hmm.
took that initiative to just go get it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need anybody. I can do it on my own.
That's what definitely inspires me too. As I feel like I always think about it, like my mom being a single mom is. I'm just like I always tell her now, because her and I, thank God, we have a closer relationship now. After I moved out, she was coming over all the time. I would go to the house all the time. Like, I would try to keep that bond, and it was just like we missed each other so much that it was like we got to we got to open up a bond that I never thought I would have with my mom. And it's like now we text all the time. I have her on Instagram. I never thought I would ever have my mom on Instagram because I'm like I go out and I post myself and I'm just like I don't want my mom to see this. And so now I like have her. It's like we open up this new chapter in our lives, and I thank God for it. And I always tell my mom and I always tell her, like, she works so hard, being a single mom. And, she went to school here. She graduated high school, she graduated college, and, my parents are divorced. And yes, she raised three daughters on her own, but it's just like looking at her background, it's just like, I want her to be proud of me. I want myself to be a spitting image of her. It's just like if my mom was able to do it on her own, why am I not going to do something with my life? Why am I not going to want more for myself? That should want more for myself.
Yeah.
You know, coming from a single mom and her raising all three of us on her own, providing for us. And it's just like I know that she would love, and I know that she is proud of me of who I am now. And that's definitely what I love. It's just like every time I feel so down about something, or if I feel like I can't do it, I'm always like, man, my mom can do it. Like my mom did it. Like I always have my mom in mind because I'm just like, my mom is my everything. Like, and everybody
Yeah.
always tells me that too. They're always like, you're always posting your mom, and they're
Yeah,
like,
that's why I asked. 'Cause I
yeah,
see it, and I love to see that.
yeah. And it's just like, I thank God is like that I have my mom. I feel like a lot of people don't have their moms, or they don't have that relationship with their moms. And I have a lot of friends who don't, have that relationship with their mom. And I'm just like, man, like I love my mom. I don't know what I would do without my mom. There's nothing more warm than a mother's love. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like you were able to, and I'll give this piece of my advice to everyone watching, and maybe you can relate a little bit. The reason why I feel like you have that bond, that something clicked in you, that what you just said, that kind of like triggered something in me, where like you said you never thought you would have that bond with your mom. And I'm not talking about Instagram. I'm talking
Mhm.
about like a bond where like like it's not just like mom that covers you from the scary person, but it's more or less like mom, like that's my person, and that's who I trust. That's
Mhm.
who I go to when, mom, I'm scared to make this leap in my business.
Yeah,
Like,
things go wrong. Yeah.
and I feel like the reason why you're able to have that bond, and I was able to discover that bond with my dad, was because you step into puddles they did. So now you are able to experience a little bit of life in a different way, because I'm pretty sure they went through it a lot worse. Our problems and
Yeah.
their problems, there's levels to this,
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like the reason why I'm able to comprehend my father, and I'm able to understand where he comes from now as an adult, as a full grown adult, is because I'm walking through the rough he went through already. So now the things I used to question him about makes a lot more sense now. So now you're able to relate in like, before it was like they're here and you're here, so you don't understand what space they're in. But now that you're in, similar space, and you have similar issues now that they had,
Yeah.
maybe not the same exact issues, but similar issues, you realize like, damn, what they were telling me, one was for my benefit, not for them to be a-holes or whatever. It's just because they wanted to see me do good and succeed in life, and not run into some issues that I'm running into now. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's one big thing that, like, if you are young, and there's a lot of young viewers watching, I'm pretty sure we have our demographic is crazy, but there's a lot of young viewers. So if you're upset about your parents telling you this or a, more than likely they're doing it for good reason,
Yeah,
because later
definitely.
on as an adult, you'll realize that you'll look back and be like, damn, this is why he told me that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to go through those puddles. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you don't learn. We don't fucking learn.
I always
So
tell my mom when I first moved out, I was living in a basement, so it gets dusty. So I always had to clean. I always had to wipe everything down. And I remember one day I called my mom, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Every time my mom would call me, I'm like, "I'm cleaning." And she's like, again, next day she would call me and be like, "Mommy, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm cleaning." And I'm like, I didn't listen to you when, you will always get home and you would always complain to us that why wasn't it clean? And I'm just like, damn, I'm like, I come home from work and I'm like,
you
man, I
have no
have
one
a
to complain
big mess.
to.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I'm like, I left all these clothes on my bed and I have a mess here. And I'm like, damn, I do want to come home to a clean house. So I'm just like, damn, I wish I would have, appreciated my mom a little bit more when, she
Yeah.
would clean and want a clean house. Cause I'm just like, damn, like now I know what she means. It's like, you come home and you want to lay down. You don't want to go home and clean and,
Yeah.
sweep and mop. It's just like you want to come home to a clean house.
And you appreciate these people a lot more after those advice coming to, and I feel like God holds them. God holds some of the bad things you've done to yourself.
Yeah.
My mom always said, however you treat your parents is how your kids are gonna treat you. And said and done. I mean, you don't have kids, but like your life, even without kids, like you'll learn, and God will throw. Like I believe in God, so like God
Yeah.
will throw you, hurdles that got through them, and then they learn,
Yeah.
and then they're trying to pass it over to you. But if you don't listen, I mean, at the end of the day, we are young and we are, like Wiz Khalifa, young, wild, and free. So like we do stupid things, but sometimes I feel like stupid things turn out to be lessons learned.
Yeah.
Not all stupid things. Don't be all here doing
Yeah,
dumb shit.
no.
But I feel like a lot of the stupid things we do, and more or less, I'm talking about life, is there for a reason. So sometimes I don't question anymore why didn't this work out the way I did. And sometimes I just learn, this taught me something, and
Yeah.
make sure I don't run into the same thing, because one, my dad told me about it, or my mom told me about it, or both of them told me about it, and two, I still did it, but now I learned, I
Yeah.
still learned. So it's a very, I mean, man, God bless your mom and her soul for having you guys, the way she did, because it's not easy
Yeah, it's not.
as a single parent. I saw my mom. Well, my mom was a different story, because we were already grown, when like she was on her own. But still, even still, like I like you said, I'm a mommy's boy, 100%.
Me too.
I'm like, my mom is my world. So
Yeah.
like, even yesterday we were putting up the Christmas tree, and it was like, we gotta go get my mom to like do this with us.
But yeah, my sisters are always like, mommy's always talking on the phone with you, and mommy always comes to pick you up, and mommy always this, and mommy always gives you food. I'm like, it's because my mom loves me, and I love my mom.
Hey, there's favorites. There's favorites to this.
Yes,
My,
there
my
is.
brother, my brother, my sister. We're three siblings. My brother, my sister always tell me like, "You're the favorite. You're the favorite." I'm like, "Hey, man, I guess."
Yeah.
So it's crazy how like this whole thing is like now your life. Like, you thought this was gonna be your life, like running your own business, like, did you ever think that your passion for like you want to dance hip hop or reggaeton was gonna turn into something that now potentially even pays the bills? Like I said to myself, like I'm grateful to Nova Events, I'm grateful to DJ Nova, I'm grateful for that passion, because that passion paid for my first car, paid for my second car, paid
Yeah.
for where I live, paid for what I eat. So I'm very grateful to that. Do you think it was ever gonna turn into this?
I didn't think so. I mean, I feel like when definitely like touching base on another question, I really do regret not enjoying the full experience. I feel like when I was younger and in the dance world and in like the quinceañera world, I got into a lot of drama when I was younger. So, sometimes when I would think about it, I
That would
was
have made
just
a
like,
great TV show. I'm sorry to tell you, but that would have been a great TV show.
I was just like, Oh man, I'm like, that's the
And now
thing.
you're like
I
cringe.
I regret it. I regret, like, I don't have any regrets. You shouldn't have any regrets.
Of course.
But definitely I feel like a big mistake that I did, that I, unfortunately did when I was younger, is that I got into a lot of quinceañera drama
Right.
with, like the person I was teaching with and the people around me. Like, I was so enveloped, like, in that world, and like I was so like drama, and I was always like, I want to be the best. I want to be the best. I want to be the best. And like now I'm like so much older, and I'm just like, it's not about being at the
So
best.
much older. She's 20. What you said, 23?
23.
She's so much older. And I'm 26
Everybody
and I
always
feel
says
old.
that. Everybody was always like, "Oh, you're not old," and I'm like, I feel
I get where
like
you're
I'm
coming from though.
old.
Like your mindset is like, which is all great. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. If you keep that mindset, you're gonna go very far. Because what I do now, I started my mindset at 25, where like I really opened up and stopped being a kid per se, right? Because I'm like, eh, I'm 25. I want to take care of my mom. I want to take care of my dad. I want a future for myself. I see the finish line, which is, everybody's finish line, and I see that there has to be steps to be done, and I have to change. And if I don't change, I'm gonna be like everybody else. I'm sorry to say,
Yeah.
but like you're gonna be average.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be that. So if you don't step up and for one, like realize that you're letting fucking time go, and the stop, I forgot who said it. The sun doesn't stop for anyone. It's gonna raise and it's gonna come
Yeah.
down.
The
So
time doesn't stop for anyone.
yeah, it doesn't stop for anyone. So like when you realize that time, and enjoy your life, but time is ticking,
Yeah.
and you just gotta do the best as you can in the little time we have in this planet, and run with it. So that mindset you have of like, I feel old, I feel like it doesn't come from like the age per se. I feel like it just comes like, maybe you even feel like you feel a sense of like you're running out of time, just because you want to get so much done, but you
Like,
feel
I
like you
know
have a
where I want to
short.
be, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm struggling to get there, but I'm like, I know where I want to be, and I know that end point, and I'm just like, I want to be. I want to, yes, enjoy this time that, I'm young and everything, but I'm like, I know where I want to be in a couple years. So I'm just like, if I'm not doing what I can to reach that goal, then I need to work towards it. Like,
Right.
I need to get up every day, and I need to make sure that, I have what I need to meet my goal.
I love that mindset you have of like, and I feel like every entrepreneur has that same mindset of like, I'm old. And then you look back and you're like, and then somebody that's like, I said that in the gym the other day, and I was some guy, he was like, I see you here every day. I'm like, you're really committed. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm old. I need to, I don't want to look good. And if the older guy was like, he had a really fit body. I was like,
Hmm.
man, I'm trying to be like you. I'm old already. Like I'm 26 years old. And he's like, what? You're 26? I'm 56. He's like, that's old. He's like, and I still feel like a baby. I'm like, fuck, he made me feel really good right now. But he also explains to me like, listen, it's not that you physically feel old, although my back is fucked up, fucking sciatica. But
And also
it's
being up and down all the time, it takes a toll on your body.
oh hell yeah,
Yeah, for me, like, rehearsals is just like, I eat, I sleep, I go to work, and then I go to practice, and it's just like after work I go to practice, and then just like after I get off of work, because I work, I'm a barista.
okay,
So
okay,
after my barista job, it's just like I go to practice, and they're like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I have practice." What time are you getting home? Probably like 10 or 11. It's just like I have really long days, so it's just like I'm on my feet all the time.
right.
So it's just like my feet hurt, and then I'm like my back hurts, and then it's just like then I go to sleep for like a few hours, and then I wake up, and then I'm up again, and I'm just like, oh, this is like my life, and I'm just like, but like recently, like I've been so stressed out because I'm just like, damn, I have all these events and I don't even have time to rest. But then, that's when my mom snaps me back into reality. She's like, yes, mommy. She's like, but thank God, that you have events. Thank God that
Yeah,
you're being busy. Thank God that you have,
busy is a good thing.
clients. And I'm just like, yeah, I thank God. And, I'm just like, that's the point. Like, that's why I love doing what I do, is just because, yes, I'm stressed, and yes, I'm tired, but it's just like, at the end of the day, like, this is what I love to do, and this is what I've always wanted for myself. So it's just like, damn, like, I'm doing it, like,
Yeah,
and I'm living
literally,
through it.
it's like the position you are now in life, you prayed about a while ago, which is
Yeah.
crazy to think because it's so amazing. Ah man, that knocks me all the time back into reality. Like the fact that like for me as a DJ, I started out doing basement parties. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like little ass basement parties where like I had.
Were you in the time when they were like throwing the Chaba Hall
Yeah,
events
hell
and
yeah,
like?
yeah, yeah. We were just talking about that with Shadow Records. Shadow Records. We were just talking about that. So like I went
Oh
from
my
like that, and
god.
that's even a little along the lines of my career, like my career. But like I'm talking about like way back then, where like I looked at other DJs and I was like, damn, that must be so cool, right? Like to have like as far as equipment wise and as far as their events were going, like my parents got invited to like parties all the time. The Mexican Padrino thing,
Yeah.
like and you would see like DJs, like I was that kid that was like next to the sonido, like look and see what he's doing. I was that annoying motherfucker. That was me. So like I always looked at it and I was like, damn, like these motherfuckers are moving crowds, they're making people dance, like they're filling up like, and then I would see like, the sonidos that were like or DJs that were like over and over booked every weekend, every weekend. And I was like, damn, like funny enough, I would be like, I don't think I'll do it, but like I'm gonna try to do it, whatever they
Mm-hmm.
or like the venues they would play at back then were like the popping venues, right? Like the Queen's Palace, which back then the Queen's Palace was like a venue for quinceañeras. Now it's like all the bailes.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like DJing in Tribeca, DJing in under the freaking Brooklyn Bridge, DJing in like amazing venues. I made like country clubs and golf courses and like very very like very nice places that you're so into it, you're so involved in what you're doing that you kind of forget and you kind of like it like you don't realize that this is what you prayed for at one
Yeah.
time.
That's what.
Sometimes I just like love seeing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm so grateful for sometimes. Is sometimes like when I post on social media, sometimes I feel like I'm so annoying, but it's just like sometimes I'm also like, damn, like this is
Yeah.
something that I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And plus being a girl, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like especially being in this industry, there's so many men in this industry. Like
Yeah.
so many men and like men que también like they're envidiosos. Like the thing about it
Don't
like
be them envidioso.
yeah, and I feel like in general like even in other businesses too like DJ like quinceañera world like DJs photographers everything like there's always competition but sometimes people just don't want to see people winning and
Yeah.
especially now that I'm a girl it's like I witnessed that firsthand it's like people just don't want to see you winning like it's like maybe it's not that they don't respect you or nothing they just don't want to see you doing better than them.
Yeah, people want to see you
Yeah.
do good, but not better than them. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it is, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
And
But
there's room for everyone to eat, no matter what.
yeah, you know who
There's
I heard
always
that
room.
from? I heard that from like someone you like. Sounds like glazing, but like you just gotta respect. Like I heard it from like the guy that's doing it. Like I heard it from Tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Like listen, there's like, and mind you, Tequila is like everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Respect the hustle. Like coming from him, it meant so much to me because I'm like, okay, I'm so worried about like, oh man, this DJ got a booking that I could have gotten, or this DJ. When there's a million clients out there
Yeah.
looking for someone like you.
There's always a client for you.
Yeah, exactly. So when I heard
Mhm.
that from him, coming from him, it's like it just meant the world to me because you'll never hear something negative from someone that's doing better than you.
Yeah.
You'll always hear something negative from someone that's doing worse than you. So it's so easy to get entrapped in that like that mentality of like I get where you come from with that like, oh, I'm in competition and I gotta do this and I got.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, there's literally room in this space for everyone. It's just, you just gotta go out and get it.
Yeah.
You just gotta go out and get it. Be creative. Be maybe in your mind be better than the next guy, not just because of ego or anything, just because you want to do it for yourself. You want to be better than you were before.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is definitely
Yeah.
the luckily I've surrounded myself, and I feel like with growth in age, you kind of understand who and who not to surround yourself with.
Yeah.
So you learn you learn the hard way, but you do learn, and it's great. Everyone that I have around me from like in this space, from choreographers, from DJs, from everyone that I really really am genuine with. Like I really care for everyone's friendship, not only because it's an asset or like whatever, but it's like they've taught me something that's far beyond money or anything like that that I can grab on and use it. Not even maybe not even necessarily in business, but in life, where
Mhm.
I could just grab their advice. And I love seeing I love when other people love to see you win genuinely.
Yeah,
You know, because
of course.
it's
I'm not gonna
amazing.
lie. There's times definitely where I throw shade. Like, everybody's gonna be like, there's
Yeah.
times where everybody's gonna be like, oh, like, I feel like I'm the best, or like this or that. Like, definitely my advantage that I love to say is that I'm a girl. Like,
Right.
I love that the fact that I'm a girl, embracing
I'll be honest with you. I
girlhood.
don't know any. No, I don't know any girl choreographer.
There's
Honestly.
there's a Matic. She
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to
she
them. Shout out to them. They're
yeah,
great too,
like, I respect them. They're also, but
and they're
besides
very
that,
committed too. I love their commitment to what they do. They're
yeah,
very
besides them, I mean, I don't really know like any girls, but like, but yeah, definitely being a girl, like, I love being a girl. Like, I
yeah.
love being a girl. Like, I love building bonds with my quinceañeras. And recently, one of somebody that I met at an expo, they were like, oh, like, I love the fact que eres una niña, and that you can relate to my daughter, and that she feels comfortable with you because you're a girl.
Right.
Because it's also like sometimes, like, when you're a girl, it's just like, and you have, a man, like, you have a teacher, and it's just like, now the time girls are gonna feel comfortable with that, especially younger girls. They're like, they don't know who this guy is, like, and he's gonna come and tell you what to do for 3 months.
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, so I love the
There's definitely a
fact.
comfort aspect to it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I love that I'm a girl. I'm not, trying to put down any other male choreographers, but I definitely love being a
Yeah,
girl
from a
because
male dominated space, you do definitely stand out as a female, and keep it like not only that you stand out, is like you were taking this so serious, and
yeah,
you're really pushing with whatever you learn, and taking the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step. You know, because
yeah,
somebody can stay comfortable, and that's something I just learned from you, that it's very awesome to find, and it's one of the reasons why I love doing these podcasts, because I learned like awesome things, like the fact that you weren't comfortable just because you could have been chilling with your mom the whole time, not paying bills, not paying nothing, and you were just
mm-hmm,
like, it's time for me to move out of my shell, it's time for me to move out of my comfort zone, like,
yeah.
let's take the next step, and that shows a lot. And man, it shows a lot in your work too, so big props to you. We have questions that people ask you. We're gonna go through some questions. Maybe I'll choose like three or four, maybe, so we don't go too long in this. Okay, so we'll throw you a softball first. We'll do something easy. When did you realize you had a passion for dancing? I'm
uh
gonna say when they. I'm gonna say maybe they're asking like what age. We're in high school. I know we talked a little bit about it, but when you realize like this is my passion, like your passion, like this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
I think I realized when I was like maybe like 18, because definitely that was the time, like 18 or 19, I want to say, because definitely that was the time. I feel like what a lot of people don't know is that outside of quinceañera world and quinceañera business is like, I dance. Like, I love to dance. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to dance as much as, or train as much as I used to. But definitely 18 or 19, because that was the time where I was living with my mom, and I was still teaching for the person that I was in Queens. So it was just like, it wasn't like my life. So it's like I was also going out and taking all these classes and learning. So that's definitely when I was like, damn, like, this could become a real thing. And not only just in a business aspect, in my life, I'm just like, damn, like, I love to dance. Like, I used to watch, after every single class that I used to take in the city, I used to watch myself dance. I used to go home, watch myself dance. I used to get to my house, watch myself dance. The
That's
next
sick.
morning, watch myself dance. Post a video, and I'm just like, damn, like, I look good, and I'm just
Like
like,
that
damn.
me right there. That
Yeah, and then it's
me.
just like, and it's even better because it's just like, whenever my friends that I was in, like, friends with at the time, or like people around me, they're like, damn, like, you dance good, and I'm just like, thank you. I'm just like,
All right, we're gonna ask another question. Great response. We're gonna ask you another question. We're about to stir up the pot a little bit with your dancers. So the question is, we won't say who, but the question is, who's your best dancer? And the person that asked says, AKA me. So who do you think is your best dancer? You think?
So right now, I mean, I don't have a really big group. I feel like that's definitely that I want to incorporate, like, sooner, like, or later. I would love a big group. I feel like when I was a part of a big group, it was very fun for me. So it's just like, I want
Right.
to create that environment for other kids. Um, Last week, or this week that just passed, I had a girl named Jackie. and she learned 10 songs in 2 rehearsals.
Dang. Shout
We
out
had a
Jackie.
Yeah, shout out Jackie. We had a quinceañera who her dama wasn't able to do the court anymore, so they had to rent a girl.
Okay.
So I had told one of the girls that has done expos for me and that has done projects for me, and I was like, "Hey Jackie, like, do you want to come and you can rent a dama, like they'll pay you, like, do you want to be a part of this?" And she was like, "Yeah." So she came and she learned 2 songs in 2 rehearsals, and she did amazing. Like, she was going home, she was learning, through the videos, and we had to come. We would get picked up in Brooklyn and we would go to Staten Island. So it was like 2 3 hours of our day. So I'm super proud of her. She did a really good job, and I was getting so, I was so happy for her, because I'm just like, damn, I was like, this was me when I was like younger. It's just like, you want people to recognize that talent. So her mom came to the event, and I was like, oh, like, muchas gracias por prestarme a Jackie, and her mom came and her sister came, and I'm really proud of her, and definitely, like, she killed that, and I'm so proud of her. I told her too. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Like, thank you for saving me, and thank you for being a part of this, because sometimes you just want to be recognized, and just like, she loves to do this. Even her mom told me that she loves to do it, and I'm just like, yeah, thank you that she was able to be a part of it. Because when you're 16, your parents don't know who you're hanging around. So I'm just like, I mean, I didn't know her mom, so it's just
Right.
like, sometimes teenagers, their parents, they don't want, them hanging around the wrong people. So it's just like, thank you to her mom for,
Yeah, that's facts.
trusting me. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, shout out Jackie
So
though.
there you go. There you go. I'm sorry if you're waiting for your name. If you're we're waiting for your name. It's Jackie. So shout
Yeah.
out to Jackie. You're the winner. Ding ding ding. We'll do a little bit of a more complex question. I really like this one. Okay, what's the hardest obstacle younger you thought you'd never be able to overcome? That's a great question. So like younger you, even younger than what you are now, but younger you, maybe 20-year-old you, 18-year-old. What's an obstacle you thought was like, man, I'm not getting over this, and you actually got through it?
I definitely think depression. Like, being so young and being a girl, and, being involved in so many things at a young age is just like, I feel like mental health definitely is something that I never thought, something that's always been an obstacle for me. Growing up is just like, you know, um, yeah, and definitely moving out too as well. Mental health is something that is not spoken about in Hispanic households. It's something that's not respected. It's not something that, if you're having a bad day, your mom or your dad or people around you would be like, oh, pero eso es nada. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah, as I feel like they compare it to their issues, and then it's like
Yeah.
your problem's not valid anymore.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, like, it's something that's just like, you know,
How did you get over depression, if you don't mind me asking?
Definitely, my peers, and, trying to look on the bright side as much as I can. I feel like growing up, I put this persona that I was a very happy person, especially through dance. Is that I try to put this front that I was always happy all the time, and I feel like I had to put up this front that I had to always be happy. I had to always be excited. I had to always, you know, um, look forward to a new day. But I was honestly really I did struggle a lot with depression when I was little. And
You think the fact that you were raised by a single parent had to do a lot with that?
yeah, it definitely was. I feel like not having it's so funny because every time I mention it, people are like, oh, daddy issues, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, it is daddy issues because it's real. It's
Yeah.
just like, you don't have a father figure. You don't really have, you just, my mom is only one person. She can only, and there's 3 of us. So it's like, she can only solve so many issues, for each of us. So, yeah, I think growing up, definitely mental health was something that I never thought that I would overcome. I feel like I would always, yes, I was very proud of myself and what I was doing, but then in the back of my mind, I was always like, but is it enough? Like, do I like what I'm doing? Like, what if what I'm doing isn't what I really like to do? Like, what if I end up regretting this? So yeah, definitely.
Hey man, I'm very very proud of you that you got over it. And anyone suffering through that, it's just know that there it's easier said than done, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just get through the storm. There's definitely days like where you feel like there's just you're not moving.
Yeah.
You're walking in place, and it sucks because I've the mental issue has hit very close to home to me, where like a person I really cared for lost somebody, and it's through because of that. So what you said about like you put up this like facade or this persona of you're this very happy person, and it doesn't it doesn't take more than you being by yourself with your own thoughts that really kicks in, where you're like, this is just all fake, because they like me like this, so I'm gonna be that for them, and that's
Yeah.
even has to do with like you putting other people's happiness before yours, where you're okay with being depressed and down and sad as long as they're okay, which sucks, and it's a trait that I don't know why we like a lot of us do it, where you rather see someone else happy than yourself,
Yeah, definitely. I feel like
and
that's too like with my life, like with teaching is just like I put so much energy in other people's companies and I put so much energy in teaching for other people that it was just like why did it take me so long to invest that time into myself? So that's why I'm so grateful now and I'm just so happy that I am investing that time in myself because it's just like damn, I'm like look where I got. And
yeah.
I'm just like I
And
didn't
look
need
what's
nobody.
more ahead too. It's not
Yeah.
like just where you are now. It's like there's a greater in that mindset you are now, and that mindset you're developing now is just bound to open more doors for you,
Yeah.
whatever that means to you in this space. Man, that was a great question. That was a great question, a great answer. I'm really
Thank you.
happy that you got out of that, because
Yeah.
it's not easy by any means.
There is always better days. There's always
Yeah,
better
and it doesn't
days.
mean just because you're young, you're going through depression. It doesn't mean, because you're a child, because you're a teacher. No, everybody can go through it, and I feel like a lot of people their feelings are not validated, whether it's because of the age, whether is it because our community where we are in, like the Mexican community, doesn't, like you said, and now it's a different story. I feel like we're our age range are kind of prioritizing that,
Yeah.
that mental health thing, but before it wasn't like that, where it's like, oh, you're just sad, you'll get over it.
Even my mom too, like that's why my mom and I are also so close now is because she with me she got to open up those doors. Like my mom was always like, well, I don't know what this is, I don't know, she didn't know how to talk about mental health. So oh shit, I'm about to break your table.
I bought a good one just in case.
Yeah, so she didn't know about mental health, so it's just like now she's like, oh mommy, like are you okay? Like like sometimes like when my anxiety was raised, she's like, mommy, are you okay? Like breathe, like it's okay. Like she would always send me messages and make sure that I'm okay. So it's just like I'm happy that she gets to also learn about it and that she also gets to understand that yes, it's real. So
Yeah, and it's okay to express your feelings. And for
yeah.
those that don't maybe have, for those of you that are lucky enough to have your parents, whether it's mom and dad, whether it's both, uh, if you have them, use them to your advantage. Use that space, and maybe some people don't have that connection. I know a lot of people that don't have that connection with their parents. And if you don't have that connection with your parents, or you just don't have anyone, period, I'm a God fearing man, so turn to God. I mean,
Yeah.
or whatever God you're into, or whatever God you pray to, turn into them. And man, it's powerful to speak to God. It's very powerful. I do it
Yeah.
now, and it's very powerful. It's very very relieving. Man, that was the hidden nerve. But great question. Whoever asked that, great question. Ooh, this is a good one. We'll finish off with this one, and then we'll continue. Did your family support you choosing this career path? Like your siblings, maybe other family?
Yeah.
Like did they like to me? I'll give you like the reason why that's a great question. I feel like because to me, I got the when are you gonna get a real job? When are you
My mom
and,
is
and it
always like,
hurt, but like in the moment, like I kind of understood why they would say that.
yeah, my mom definitely was my biggest, number one supporter no matter what. Even when I was younger and going to Queens and coming home late, and I would be like, I had expos, I had rehearsal, I was teaching. She was always very supportive of me. Thank God. I love my mom. Shout out to my mom. Shout out Evelia. I love
Yeah,
you,
shout out to
girl.
her.
Yeah, like, she was always very supportive of me from the beginning. And I feel like without that support from my mom, I would not be where I am. um and even with my business now, she's like, good, like, I love to see you post, mommy, like, I love, like, watching your post. She always refers me to everybody, and she's always reposting my stuff. Yes, that there's times that she's like, a lot of the time she wants me, she's like, my mom works for the DMV, so
Okay.
she's like, oh, like, get a
Oh,
government
we got the
job.
DMV plug. I need my
Yeah.
real ID.
Yeah, everybody's always like, oh, your mom works at the DMV, and I'm just like, yeah.
She can move me up in line.
Yeah, so she's always like, oh, like, there's a government job, like, why don't you apply to it? And I'm just like, no offense, all respects to everybody who works a 9 to 5. I respect your hustle.
But that's not for me.
Not everybody can do it though. I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. Like, I feel like for me, I do have a side job, yes, but it's because
It's
I
funding the vision.
yeah, I'm scared. Like, I
Yeah.
pay rent now. I pay other bills now. So
Of
it's not
course.
even just my business, it's also my life. Like, I
Yes.
need somewhere to sleep, I need to eat, like, I need
Right.
somewhere to go home to. It's not like my mom doesn't provide these things for me, so I have to provide them for myself. So it's like, I would rather be safe than sorry. So it's just like, I don't want a 9 to 5, but I do know long term, this is what I want to do, this is my life. And I've always told myself, like, I want to open up a studio, of my own in Brooklyn. It's very hard to find studios in Brooklyn. There's no studios in Brooklyn, especially Hispanic owned,
Mm.
like dance studios, especially because, I'm a quinceañera choreographer, yes, but I'm also a dancer.
Right.
So, it opens up doors to something new. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
definitely that's the
To a
goal.
lot of things, I feel like you can. It's a big space you could. I mean, I don't know, but like it seems. Well, I kind of know a little bit, so it seems like you can open so many doors with that.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I always tell my mom, like, no, like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is my life, and this is what I want for myself. And I love my job. No matter how many hard days I have, no matter like how many times I get stressed out by my kids, and how many times they stress me out,
You wouldn't
and
trade it for the
how
world.
many times I yell, I'm just like, this is what I love to do. So
Yeah, I
this
feel
is,
that.
yeah.
I
This is,
totally feel that. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, especially when you see your work play out. It's such
yeah.
a like, damn, I did that, moment.
Yeah.
I definitely do agree with you. And like you said, no disrespect and no shame to anyone that does have that 9 to 5. I'll give you a little quick story. Like in my side, I went all in. Like I had a kid already, and I was like, quit my job, and like $100 in my account, and like let's do this. Thank God it worked out, but I mean, I was a lot younger, so I was a lot more naive back then. So, but then again, like I'm glad I took that step, because I can struggle with my business. I will struggle. I do struggle sometimes with my business. I'll go through the shit. I'll go through the mud with my business, but I'll never trade it for anything in the world.
Yeah.
Cause just has nothing to do with ego or like, oh, I'm my own boss. Or at first, I'm not lying. At first it was like I always like told people like, hey, by the way, I'm my own boss. I like work for myself, and people like that like gratitude, or like people think that's really cool. But at the same
But it's
time,
hard.
yeah, it's hard. When
You
there's
can't get
money,
too
there's
comfortable.
money. Yeah, but when there isn't, there isn't. When you gotta
Yeah.
figure out how to pay for employees, you gotta figure out how to pay for rent. Like
Hmm.
payroll's coming up, and you don't know where to get that money from.
It's
That's when
coming
it's
from
pretty.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's facts. And even still now, like I know a lot of businesses when I mean, everybody goes like, and this, I'm not trying to give bad juju, but like, everybody goes freaking Toys R Us went bankrupt, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's crazy, right? But it's that, like, it's that drive that like keeps you going, whether you're going through a good phase in the business, a bad phase in the business. Like I went from like, this is a great segment for everyone starting their own business. Like I really, that's why when I, saw you like the post, I was like, yes, that's a great.
I didn't think you would have me on because I feel like I feel like people do like know who I am because they know that I teach, like, and I dance. Like I have like a lot of social media engagement, but I'm just like, I feel like he wouldn't have me on because I'm just like, I don't have much of a following.
No, I don't
So
think that. A lot of, what's crazy, and it's crazy that people that have more following than me tell me that. Like I've had that like told over and over. Like yo, like even Shadow, like when shout out to Shadow Records, when he came in, he came in so grateful, like a freaking like he was like sparkling, bro. It was like He was like, "Yo, bro, thank you so much. Like, I didn't even know. Like, I wanted to hit you up, but I was so nervous." I was like, "Man, like, I just want to hear your story."
Hmm. Definitely. I mean, I haven't seen any Hispanic person, start up a podcast, and this is so cool because I see it on YouTube all the time. I'm just like, oh damn, like I watch
And
this
it's more
podcast.
in the West Coast.
Yeah, I watch all these güeritas, and I watch all these like
Yeah,
Spanish people like in California and
yeah.
Texas and LA, and they're just throwing podcasts, and it's just like this is cool because it's just like
It's hard. I'll tell you one thing. It's hard. A lot of these people that are doing their podcast, it's because they already do social media, period. So it's easy to transition into the podcast world. And shout out to everyone that doesn't, that just starts up, whatever, right? But starting something like this is hard as fuck.
it's a lot of
Yeah,
footage.
first of all, it's not even forget the cameras and the technology and all the behind the scenes stuff, right? It's hard for you to put yourself out there to be vulnerable in the world. Like my first episode was shitty as like I'm like you know, but I love it cuz it's like that first episode was my start to quitting. Quitting, if that makes sense. I'll explain. It sounds like I just mumble jumble. But the reason why I say that is because everything I wanted to do, I would quit halfway. So I quit quitting. Like I stopped quitting and stuff. Like I stopped. Like if it's not working out, I would just quit. I would just like, nah, it's not for me. I want to start up a business doing this. Didn't work out the first couple. So this is teaching me how to do that. Honestly, the first thing that taught me was the gym. The gym taught me how to like
Discipline and everything.
discipline, don't quit, and you're not getting gratitude immediately, which is unfortunately what we're are like all these social media apps and everything around us is training us to do. Like get gratitude, get that dopamine right there.
Yeah.
So the gym taught me how to. You're gonna go to the gym today, and you're gonna go look at the mirror, and you're gonna be the same. You're gonna go to the gym tomorrow. You look in the mirror, you're gonna be the same. You're gonna go to the gym in a month, and you're gonna look at yourself, and it's gonna be the same. That's when you realize that if you keep going, you have what it takes.
Yep.
So this podcast, like I was like, listen, if I'm gonna go for it, that's why when everybody comes in, like, holy shit, this is kind of legit. Because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it the whole way now. Like it's todo or nada. So now I'm grateful that everyone like yourself takes part in this really cool journey because I feel like it's not really me pushing this content. It's like your guys' stories pushing that. I feel like I'm just the delivery system to everybody's really cool story.
Yeah,
So
this is so cool. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like, this feels like the YouTube videos that I
yeah, like
watch.
oh shit, I'm in it. Like this is what it is like.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, I'm like, let me give you your gift that
Oh
I
my
bought
god!
you.
Listen, this has turned into a tradition. Listen, anyone that's our guest in our podcast does not have to bring me anything. Just people just got into it, but
This
I'm
is why
very
I was
grateful.
late and I felt like I was unprepared for the podcast. But
Oh my god!
this is for you.
Oh my! Yeah, should we open it on camera? Should we open our camera? I don't know. You tell me. Should we open our camera?
Yeah, open it, open it.
Let's see.
I'm like, I got you pink socks because,
You know what's crazy? I'm really wear these on the pod. Thank you. We got pink socks.
Yeah.
Man, it's really a Christmas episode. I'm getting like the
Yeah.
the vibes. That was for the everybody.
The pink socks. Yeah.
Put in the comments. Que lo abra.
I'm like,
Socks are
girl
fire.
business. Gotta give you some
Yes,
pink
yes.
socks.
Oh my god. Seriously, whoever comes on the pod, don't bring me anything. But thank you. I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for everyone.
I'm like, Christmas is coming up, so.
Oh my god, I feel like shit now. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna give it the same thing my tia tells me. It's on the way. I ordered it. Oh my god, here we go. Let's see this. No way, bro. You know what's crazy? I haven't shopped in Kith in like years.
Really?
Yeah,
I always
years.
get my gifts at Kith.
Oh,
I
I
love
haven't
Kith for gifts, yeah.
Yeah, Kith is sick. I stopped like not caring so much about like what I wear, but like being a dad, I'm like, okay, like like I gotta like I don't know. I feel like you transition over that like that phase of like the clothes and whatever. I still like to look good, but not on a budget. I'm more like budget conscious. Oh my god, this is fire.
It's a medium. I'm sorry. They only have medium. But there's a gift receipt in there. So
No,
if it
it's
doesn't fit
okay.
you.
This will be a stamp because I am currently on a gym goal right now. I'm
Okay, there you
currently
go.
trying to drop weight. So this is perfect because I'm literally I was literally thinking like I want to buy myself a medium piece of clothes and hang it up because I was a medium a couple of months ago. I don't know if you.
I haven't been a medium in like years.
Yeah, it's hard. It's okay. It's hard. I was a medium a couple of months ago, and I was. By the way, thank you so much, Citlali. You
You're
really didn't
welcome.
have to do this. I promise you.
I
But
told him
I
I'm just like, damn, I feel like everybody brings him bottles and alcohol. I'm just
no
like,
no
let me bring
thank
him
you.
something that he can
Listen
wear.
again. If you are part of the pod, you don't have to bring anybody. Thank you. Like, but they're accepted. Thank you. I don't want to be like, oh no, he doesn't know. Thank you, thank you. It's amazing. But yeah, I was a medium. How long have I been in this place? I was a medium. Like, let's just say like in the summer, right? Um, as you know, and a lot of people know, my old apartment caught on fire and we lost it. So that kind of kicked me back into like depression. No, I don't know. I wouldn't consider that depression, but like I wasn't in a very good headspace mentally, and there was just other things in life that happened that kind of was like the fire was like the cherry on top, of
Yeah.
like everything. But I was a medium because I dropped. I weighed 286 pounds. I think.
Yeah,
I
you lost a
think
lot of weight.
yeah, it was 280. Last time I weighed myself, like I was big. Like if I show you a picture, you're like, damn, which is okay because I love to see it. I love to see my growth or my loss or whatever you want, however you want to see it. But with the whole stress, I want to blame it on stress. But yeah, I was in a very bad place mentally, and I kind of let myself go. I kind of let myself go, and I went from 186. I dropped down in a year, going to the gym and being on the health journey. I dropped 80 something pounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I went down to 200 pounds.
Shout out to you because that's hard.
Impossible almost, but it's not. So if you're in the health journey, keep going. But I went down. My lightest was like 197, which was like wow, and that's when you feel like you're on the top of your game, on top of the world, and then something happens, and then the fire happened, and no, you're good, you're good.
No, I know, but I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, really cool mics. We invest in really cool for our guests, really cool stuff for our guests. But yeah, so the after the fire, like you can imagine like the stress of like looking for a new place and like
Yeah.
just like losing. I said this before where we. Oh, and I said it in my solo episode 2 episodes ago, where like we were preparing for an episode for Sonido Kumbala, and the night before, I'm texting him like in the same way I was texting like, "Yo, we're ready for you. Like, I'm excited to have you. All of this and that." And then it was in the morning. We're like, just
Oh
mayhem.
man.
And yeah, so unfortunately, I kind of did lose myself a little bit. And but it's okay. Like it's okay. That gave me a new sense of achievement to pursue.
Yeah.
So right now, like I promise you, I was like, because I saw it on a TikTok. Somebody really bought a piece of clothes and stapled it to their wall, and they're like, I'm gonna fit there one day. So
Don't staple that, but
no,
yes.
I'm not gonna staple it. I promise you. But I'm gonna keep it because we're close. I dropped a pound last week, so we're getting there. It's hard. It's
I feel like
really
that would
hard.
frustrate me. Like definitely, like I feel like I've been wanting to go to when I moved into this new place. I recently moved in September again. So
Okay.
when I moved in, I'm just like, oh, the gym is like a couple blocks away. I'm gonna go. Haven't gone. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I feel like I've been watching so many like weight loss journeys. I'm just like,
Right.
damn, I feel like I would be so frustrated, like that it's so much time dedicated, and it's just like
Yeah.
sometimes you have to be ready for like you to like not lose anything.
Right.
Like or like you have to be patient with the process.
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
have
like,
to.
damn.
You have to. I got asked this by one of my boys actually that well I call him my boy but one of my guys that I used to work with in a kimchi restaurant. You know what kimchi is? Like
Yeah.
the like I think it's Japanese. I don't know what
It
it
is,
is.
it is, it is.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Okay, so we used to work together. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Chris if you're watching this. But he reached out to me out of nowhere. Mind you, I haven't been in that kimchi place in like I'm 26, so probably 7 years. So like I don't know how he found me on Instagram, right? And he hit me like, "Yo, bro, you remember me? It's Chris, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, like I remember." So we've been talking, we've been connecting again, and he asked me, he's like, "Yo, bro, where do you get?" I just got his message, like, "Where do you get the motivation from to
Mhm.
be in the gym?" And I'm like, I sent him an audio. I was like, "Listen, cut the motivation bullshit, and it's repetition. That's it. Because motivation comes and goes. It comes in waves. And when it's not there, you won't be there.
Yeah.
So I was like, just do it and do it to a point where it's like it seems stupid. And by that I mean like go in 5 minutes into the gym. Don't even work out. Go in, look around, and then come back out. And then the next day, go in, look around, maybe grab a water, and then get out. Like, do it very minimally. Because when you set yourself, like, oh, I have to be in the gym for 30 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, I have to do back and legs and like, you scare yourself away. You scare. And sometimes that's not the tactic to go with. I feel like that's like the mindset. Like,
How
if
long
you're
have you
going,
been like in on your gym journey?
uh, this February will be 2 years of nonstop every single week. There was one point, two times where I went to the gym 1 week, but that was because I was hospitalized a couple days
Oh
prior.
my god.
And I got out of the hospital. I was like, I need to lay down for a little while. And then back to, I know I didn't work out as hard as I would have wanted, but I have not skipped a week. Technically, I can say a week because at least I've gone a day out of the week
Hmm.
to the gym in almost 2 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's you change it from being a chore to being a lifestyle. And it sounds, for those that are not in it, I completely understand if it sounds bizarre, but it really is, for me, is the peak of my day. Gym is the peak of my day. Like, it's so crazy being on the other side because I was on the other side before. I was on like, you're bullshitting, you just want to feel like it.
I'm at the
But
point
no,
where I'm just like, yeah, I respect the people that go to the gym. I'm just like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it though. I'm just
you
like,
will, you will be able to do it. It's just, I always tell people, it's one, how bad do you want it, and then two, what's your drive, what's your why, what's your reason. For me, and we spoke about it before, like, I hated myself, like, we were playing around, but in reality I was very self-conscious of myself. When I went to the mall, I used to hate, how they have mirrors everywhere, like when you go to like Abercrombie or like any of the stores, there's just mirrors there. So I would like, kind of like, I shit you not, I would like not step in front of a mirror because I looked at myself and I was like, ew. I know it, self-hate is not good, but like, you kind of hold yourself, like, there's a fine line between self-hate and like accountability,
yeah,
and at a certain age, I feel like when you're a teenager, sure, fine, go crazy because like your body processes food. Like, I was skinny as hell. If I showed you, I'm not even as skinny right now as I was in the gym, and I'm fat now. I feel fat, but or big. We'll say big, not fat. But I used to hate myself how I looked, and then it wasn't until 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, where I was like, dude, I gotta do something about it. Like, cause I started buying like designer clothes and like the this and the that, and thinking that that would change my aspect, but it was not. It had nothing to do with it. Like, you can go out and wear Walmart clothes and be really thin and really fit, and you'll look great. But you can be like huge and like you'll buy, no matter what amount of Gucci, no matter what, you're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna feel okay. So that was
yeah.
my why. Like, I'm sick of myself. I'm sick of being the person I am before. I'm sick of putting excuses. I'm sick of quitting stuff. I'm just sick of it. And then that's what kind of like drove me to, be where I am now, which I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely moving in the right direction. So, yeah, if you're looking for the way you're gonna get your butt in the gym, is you just have to find the right reason, and just repetition over and over. As silly as it sounds, go in there 5 minutes, work out for 5 minutes. You don't have to know what you're doing. No one in there knows what they're
That's what I get
doing.
scared of. I'm just like, damn, I'm like all these people in the gym. But then I'm just like, when I used to go to the gym, that was like a week. I'm just like, people really don't care like what you're doing.
Yeah, nobody. And if you,
Yeah.
if you care enough what other people are doing, you are not even there for the right. Like, you're not even really working out. You're gonna be there a month, a week tops, because you're there to criticize someone else rather than work on yourself. So, yeah, I understand where that comes from. That though, that like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to look stupid doing something, but just go look stupid. Go look
Yeah.
stupid. Go. But then again, it's like, if you're not working out or if you're not doing it, like, and you, because of that, just go on TikTok. That's how I learned. I always
Yeah.
shout out TikTok. My personal trainer, TikTok. No shit. I'll show you a picture of like how I look. All TikTok.
But that's good though because I feel like your discipline in the gym it really applies to like everything else in your personal life. It's just like
Yes.
if you're able to do what you can in the gym, if you're able to dedicate yourself, change your diet, meet a goal, it's just like it's something that you can
Yeah.
definitely also take and apply to your personal life.
Yeah, it'll definitely roll over into your personal life, and if you have a business, it'll definitely roll over into that. And yeah, it's fucking great. I would never trade it for anything. Like I said, right now the gym. It sounds very corny, I know, but the gym is literally my life. per se because I just love everything about it. I love watching gym influencers. I love learning new stuff from gym influencers. I love buying the clothes, like the gym gear or whatever.
I love TikTok. TikTok is my favorite.
Yeah,
I
like
love
it's so
TikTok.
like the motivational. Like I did a motivational video. Like it came out. I don't. Even, I think it came out good. I don't know. You would be the judge. But like that itself, like it's so everything now. It's like when you learn, like if you like something, you learn the whole thing about it. Like you realize how really great it can be. So yeah, big. Like if you're looking into going into the gym and like I really recommend it. It's so much more than lifting weight. It's so much more than losing weight. It's for your mind. You train your mind.
Yeah,
In reality.
it takes a toll, like emotionally,
Yeah. Yeah.
mentally,
You come in there
mentally,
feeling like shit sometimes,
mentally.
yeah,
Sorry.
and then you come out like $1,000,000. You really do. It's that's so real. Unless you're like sick or something. When you're sick, like it's workouts are shitty. I've had that like last week. I went in there. I went in. I kid you not for 10 minutes and I walked out because it was just like that's the first time I even felt like shit because that's the first time I've ever done
At
that.
least you could be like, "Hey, I went in."
Yeah, that's why I was like, hey, listen, I lifted something, you know. But yeah, it's definitely recommend it to me. But enough about me. What do you have going on for this year coming up, 2026? We're like around the corner. What do you see yourself? What do you see your company? What's the plans for the future?
Well, for 2026, I have a really already a couple of quinceañera events lined up. Thank God.
Yes.
Because especially like this year, I was really more busy the end of the year. Like right now, I'm super busy. Like, so like when you texted me 2 days ago, I was like, shoot. I'm like, I don't know if I'm free this week, but I made time.
Yes.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, I'm super busy. Like this, definitely this year, I'm super grateful to be busy. Like
I'm
the
super
ending
grateful for
half,
this gift.
no problem. I hope it
I
fits.
really am. Yes. Thank you. It will. It will.
Yes, wear
Thank you.
pink because real men wear pink.
Yes, that's facts. I used to wear a lot of pink. Real shit. I used to wear a lot
Yeah,
of pink. Yeah.
I was looking for a pink shirt, but like Kit did not have no pink shirts. I was like, damn. I was like,
Oh
what am I gonna get
man,
him? I'm
nah.
like,
I used to think like that too. Like girls are gonna like it because I wear pink. I don't know why I thought that, but it worked. It worked. But yeah, I'm sorry. Keep going.
no, yeah. So for 2026, yeah, I'm just keep working, quinceañera business. Definitely want to be more active on social media. I feel like I have a lot more goals now in 2026. Like I definitely do want to be more active on social media. Because that's prime. Like if you're not
Yeah,
active on social media, like you're not working.
that's a new way to do business.
Yeah, so I'm just like I definitely want to be more active on social media. I definitely do want to tap more into my dance, like dance itself. Like I definitely do want to get back to training, because I feel like again I feel old because I'm just like damn. I'm like I run up steps, I run for the bus and I'm tired already. I'm just like this was not me a couple years ago.
Yo,
Like
wait till you get 26 and you go on those pedas. The next day you feel like you're dying.
yeah, I'm just like damn. I'm just like I want to get back to training. Like I feel like it's not like I'm ready for whatever is to come. Like I'm ready for a new year, a new fresh start. Especially I feel like my business definitely kicked off last year, so and that's when I started getting a lot more clients. So I'm definitely ready to see where it takes it. And like my personal life, I just moved, so I'm ready to
Yeah,
see where that
congratulations.
goes. Yeah, thank God. I was living all the way over here. I used to live by King's Plaza. It was so
Okay.
far.
Oh my God, King's Plaza. Yeah.
Yeah, it's far. It's just like transportation, and I don't know how to drive,
Oh
which
man, we gotta teach Lali how to drive.
yeah, which is a goal. Definitely, I need to get my license by February because my birthday's in February, so that's when my permit expires.
Oh no, you had
So
it that long?
yeah, everybody always tells me they're just like, damn, they're like you travel so much and you go all these places and you don't know how to drive. I'm just like,
Yeah, but I travel
sometimes.
in plane. I don't gotta drive a plane.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, sometimes just train is easier though. I'm like, you gotta sit through traffic, you gotta pay for your gas. I'm like, I would love to have a car,
Parking.
but yeah, parking. I'm just like, damn, like you gotta deal with traffic and then
Yeah.
this and then that. And like, I'm tired when I finish rehearsal. So I'm just like, hey, the MTA is where it's at for
Yeah,
now.
listen, if you don't, I've heard this from I forgot who. Like, keep your overhead low when you're starting a business, and like by overhead, I mean like your expenses. And a car is definitely a great tool. Like I told Jason, it's DJ Jason,
Hmm.
DJ Jason. Shout out to DJ Jason because he wanted a car. So I'm like, listen, treat it as a tool, not as a you're gonna go pick up girls or you're gonna go
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
just you want to show off because no. Treat it as a tool because that's what it is at the end of the day. Because no matter what car it is, it's just a car.
Yeah.
Period. Once your business can fuel the car of your dreams, that's when you can go all out, right? But if right now if you don't need it and you say transportation, by all means keep going. Don't
Yeah.
worry about who says, and
I'm like, hey, the G, the F, the M, they all take me where I gotta go. So that's all
exactly,
that matters.
exactly, and they park themselves, so you don't got to worry about that.
Yep.
They don't get like, listen, I got like, hey, to that, if that, I highly doubt it. But if you're that ticket guy that gave me I already got towed. Where my new place, or I got towed a couple months ago. But yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's a great asset, but it could be a headache,
Yeah.
too, especially in New York,
But I am ready for the new year. I'm ready for what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for those looking for a quinceañera choreographer or any type of choreographer, wedding, all of that, check
I
out.
teach surprise dances too.
Yes, surprise dances are her forte. So check her out, man. Listen, for real, check her out because it's you can see the professionalism. I was really, really, really intrigued in the way you're carrying everything. Because one thing is to be a choreographer, and one thing is to transform that into a business. And what I've seen so far, like I told my boy, your Instagram is your storefront. That's our storefront. We don't, as long as we don't have a physical location, that's our storefront. So
Yeah.
make it look nice. And I've seen your page. It looks great. It looks incredible. The photo shoots you did with your girls, they look great.
Thank
very,
you.
very professional. And you spend the time and the money, I'm pretty sure, to make it look like that for your clients to know that you're serious about this and you're really truly investing in what you do. So if you're looking for a choreographer, make sure you check out choreography by Lali. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, CBL. Everybody's always like, what does CBL stand for? I'm like, choreography by Lali.
Yes. So either way, we'll leave the social medias down in the description below. I can now tag links. So now finally, thank you, YouTube. Freaking YouTube unlocking my shit slowly. But thank you, YouTube. Is there anything else you wanna say or would like to say? I feel like this was a great episode.
Thank
Like,
you.
very, very. You're
Thank
so
you for
worried
having
about
me.
it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was nervous. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't know I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do, but I wanted to follow it. Like, it was a genuine conversation. So I'm very happy.
No, it came out great. I feel like there's a lot to take from this episode. Whether you're a guy, a girl, choreographer, a DJ, or an entrepreneur, period, there's a lot to take from this episode. And man, sky's the limit to where you're going right now. It's like, I've seen, I have friends, choreographers that are like, teaching, A-list celebrities, their backup dancers to dance, or they're part of the choreography. So sky's really the limit. It really can go from anywhere as long as you can imagine it and work towards it.
Yeah.
That's simply it. Is there anything else you want to add on the
I'm
pod?
good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Go follow. I don't know why she was so nervous to be on. If she has
CBL NYC.
Yes, go follow her. We'll have it linked down in the description. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for the gift. You really wild.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the guests that have been coming. How'd you guys like the decor, by the way? This is our Christmas decoration.
So cool. This gives karaoke vibes. This gives Grinch vibes.
Facts. And man, I wanted to keep it nice for everyone. I know everyone likes the according to my Instagram, everybody spams the the likes whenever I post the studio. Everybody loves it. And thank you, because it takes a long time to get this where it is now. Even though it's not much, but I really try to put it, make it nice for the guests.
These are still so cool. I love these cups.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. New episode every single week. Usually we do every 2 weeks, but for the month of December, every single week we're gonna have an episode. We have so many episodes recorded already, so I'm grateful that we're able to pump out a new episode every week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.
Peace.